Welcome, everybody. We are live from Yost Ice Arena here, and it is Michigan versus Dearborn in the Battle of the Wolverines, and we are very lucky to have Coach Neb back with us. How you doing, Coach?
Rock and roll, baby. I'm fired up. This is better than PT.
Excellent.
I'm very excited to be here.
Well, we are super happy that you were able to make the trip, and we're glad you're mending well. We are excited to have your energy up here with us calling this game.
I've got my lucky hockey stick cane that the team signed, so I'm ready to limp through this game and hopefully do the color for a win. So
fantastic. So this is number 6 versus number 7. Michigan number 6 in the rankings, Michigan-Dearborn number 7. So it should be a big battle. Michigan 15-3-1 on the season, coming off of a CCWHA win versus Concordia 3-0. And we'll talk more about that in a moment. They swept Penn State the last weekend away. That was 2-0 and 4-2. And then the weekend before that, they had those 2 tough losses to Adrian, 2-0 at Adrian, and 3-1. Adrian beat them here, but Michigan had the lead until the last 3:30 in the game, and then just Adrian found a way to win. Michigan hoping to see Adrian again in the CCWHAs and hopefully get the win versus Adrian there.
Take that coulda, woulda, shoulda and erase it, that's for sure.
Absolutely, but this is huge for the rankings. Number 6 versus number 7. Michigan would like to stay 6 or higher in the national rankings. Top 10 go. But there are 3 conference tournaments that if someone we don't expect wins, that takes a spot away. So the higher up you are in the rankings, the better it is to get the nationals. Taking a look at the last game Michigan played versus Concordia, it was 12 shots on goal in the first by Michigan, 1 by Concordia, 8 for Michigan in the second, 4 by Concordia, and 12 in the third compared to 8. So Michigan outshot them 32-13. But the first 2 periods were scoreless. We had a power play as Collins went off for tripping at 15-16. Then they had a power play as Matthews went off at 18-26 for tripping. No score in the second. 2 power plays for Michigan as Benoit went off for roughing and Orcus went off for slashing. But then it was the third where it started off beautiful puck movement as Hansen in the near, right underneath the near circle found Flazar between the circles in the slot. She fired it in. Michigan found a lot of success, blocker side high on Lennon, and Michigan got the scoring going. Flazar with her second goal of the season, Hansen with her 8 assists. Then it was Lindahl who stole the goal from the far point, skated across the far circle, weaved through 3 defenders, and shot it from between the circles. Again, blocker side high, fired that in, and that made it 2-0 Michigan. Then Carr continuing her hot streak as Simmer was on the far circle, fired it over to Carr on the near circle. She beat a diving Lennon for her 11th goal of the season. Simmer and Gustafson on the assist on that one. As Poneth got her 4th shutout of the season, Lennon takes the loss in that game. Were you able to watch the broadcast, and did you have any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I'm just watching the Zamboni Dodge helmets here. Sorry.
No, it's okay. That's not easy.
Oh, man. Poor Alex has got to. You can't really stop. If the Zamboni stopped, it's never a good thing.
Yeah.
So he's keeping it moving and trying to give our photographer a chance to take the helmets back off the ice. I'm sorry, what was your question, Mark?
We're seeing that's true drama right there.
Yeah,
what were your thoughts about the Concordia game? Did you get a chance to watch it?
Yeah, I did get a chance to watch it. I was really pleased with the way they stuck with it.
Yes.
It looked like they stuck with the plan, and they persisted. And I think if nothing else, it proved to the squad that if you stick to the plan, and I think good things will come of it. What I wasn't terribly impressed with was it didn't seem like we had much urgency, or we didn't have a ton of energy. And although I'm not in the locker room as much as I used to be, I think that's something that they're going to really have to figure out here in a hurry, because we've got must-win games. Just like goals are contagious, energy is contagious. And,
yes.
I know I used to be coach cheerleader on the bench, but I think we've got to find a way to get some energy and some more communication and maybe a little rah-rah and things like that, and show it with that urgency on the ice. And,
come up with a little jump in their step right from the get-go, not having to
Absolutely.
find it in the third.
Yep. We need to put people away and put them to sleep early and not make it a nail biter. And we've got the talent to do that.
And this is a team, we'll talk about it next, but this is a team in Michigan-Dearborn that is coming off of a tough loss versus Adrian, 7-0.
Yeah.
So either they get it going early, and then we have to play catch-up, and because they're going to come in on fire after that. They don't want that taste in their mouth for very long.
No, they're going to be mad. They might be a little banged up. They might be a little tired. Good thing is we can run 4 lines and hopefully carry the pace, and we can play tough too and hope that they're a little beat up and maybe a little shell-shocked and don't have the confidence. But no, I think you're right. They're going to probably – this has become a huge rivalry.
Oh, yeah. And we need to – if we can jump on them early, we might be able to keep them off balance from last night. But if we don't, they can get their confidence back and there'll be issues.
The longer they stay close, the more dangerous it's going to be because they've got a good goaltender too.
Absolutely.
She's not going to come into this game if it's the starter from last night with a ton of confidence. But, I mean, she's their A goalie. So,
taking a look at the top point scorers for Michigan, it is Lindahl with 23 points on 11 goals and 12 assists. Hansen has 18 points on 10 goals and 8 assists. It's Carr and Swanson tied with 14 points. Carr with 11 goals and 3 assists. Swanson with 5 goals and 9 assists. And then 2 at the number 5 spot, it is Gustafson with 8 points on 3 goals and 5 assists. And Hunt with 8 points with 2 goals and 6 assists. Taking a look at Ponith. Ponith has 10 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie, a 1.21 goals against average, which is fantastic, and a .961 save percentage with 4 shutouts. Johns has been very good as well. We expect Ponith to get the start today, but Johns has a 1.40 goals against average and a .944 save percentage. Taking a look at Michigan-Dearborn, they are 25-5-1. They're coming off of a big sweep of Indiana Tech before that Adrian game where they beat Indiana Tech. They beat them 3-2 in Dearborn and then beat them 3-2 in Indiana at Fort Wayne. But they did lose to Adrian. They did beat Adrian earlier in the season. And that was a huge win they had there. Their 3 losses, 1 to Michigan, obviously 3-1 earlier in January. And then their other 3 losses, besides the Adrian game last night, were all on a trip to St. Louis, where they lost to McKendree 4-1, and Maryville beat them 2-0 and 4-1. Last night's game, 7-0 Adrian. Adrian had 52 shots on goal. Michigan-Dearborn had 12. It was 5 infractions, 5 penalties for Michigan-Dearborn, 3 for Adrian. Adrian was 3 for 3 on the power play. So hopefully Michigan can find a little bit of spark there and keep the power play going.
That's what happens when you beat Adrian. They're going to pay you back.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is huge for CCHA standings. As Adrian scored, White scored at 12:26 in the first from McCarroll and Pichet. Then at 16:59, it was Stitt from Villiard. And then at 19:53, it was Parent from Villiard and Robinson. In the second, at 17:09, it was Wiltshire from Peterson and Shaw. At 17:32, it was Peterson from Wiltshire and White. Then in the third, at 11:42, it was Wiltshire again from White and Shaw. And at 17:40, it was McCurrow from Pichet and Wiltshire. So it was Borso, their top goalkeeper, who took the loss. And on the other side, it was Burt, who has been fantastic for Adrian. Your top point getters, Sinsoli, number 79 for Michigan-Dearborn, has 48 points on 18 goals and 30 assists. 40 points for Schroeder, who has 21 goals and 19 assists. Evers has 36 points on 23 goals and 13 assists, as Piro has 28 points on 16 goals, 12 assists, and Palayan has 23 points on 6 goals and 17 assists. Now, their top 2 point getters do have a higher points per game, as Sinsoli has a 1.55 points per game and Schroeder has a 1.43. But other than that, Michigan hasn't played as many games, but they do have good points per game, as Lindahl has a 1.21 points per game. So she's right up there, not too far behind. Taking a look at the 2 goalkeepers, it is Borso, who has played 19 games. Man, they've played a lot of games.
I wonder if the wear and tear. I mean, if for a student athlete, I mean, you do that in juniors and stuff, but that's just a ton of games. I wonder if there's going to be wear and tear as the tournament and everything comes along.
Yeah, total of 30 games played for this team, which is just.
I don't.
Yeah.
In my 16 years, we've never come close to 30 games.
No.
That's a lot of games.
It is indeed. So Borso has 16 wins, 2 losses. She has a 1.26 goals against average and a 9.52 save percentage. So she has been very good. She has 10 shutouts, which is outstanding. Good defense in front of her as well. Victoria Hahn has played 12 games, 9 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 1.83 goals against average, and still a solid 9.17 save percentage. So they have 2 good goalkeepers. It will be a big opportunity here for Michigan, because let's take a look. Let me pull away this and bring up.
I'm glad you're a numbers guy, Mark. You can figure all this stuff out and just tell me. That way I don't get a headache.
I try. So if we take a look at the standings right now, Dearborn has 22 points. They only have 1 CCWHA game left. That is tonight. So they have a maximum of 24 points. If they win tonight, if Michigan-Dearborn wins tonight, they have the top spot in the East. They will get the bye. They will play Saturday. Michigan could tie them with 22 points. Their only CCWHA game left is tonight. The Lake State games are not league. If Michigan wins tonight, they would tie Michigan-Dearborn, and between those 2 teams, they would have the tiebreaker because they would have beat them twice, so points, goals against would come in huge. Now, Adrian, after their big win yesterday, has 18 points. So they are 2 behind Michigan and 4 behind Michigan-Dearborn, but they play Michigan State twice this weekend, and those are both league games. So they could get up to 22 points if they win both of those. Now, if they win both games versus Michigan State, they beat Michigan-Dearborn 7-0. They have the goals against Michigan-Dearborn in that tie, and they beat Michigan by 5 total goals. We have 1. So if Adrian can sweep Michigan State, they can still make the top spot. If Michigan can win here, and if we can get some help from East Lansing, the Spartans.
I never like to depend on that.
I know. You never want to count on anyone else.
I do want to say it's nice seeing Adrian in 3rd place. I haven't seen that very much in my life.
Yeah. But depending on, they could still get that first place. So if the Spartans can beat them, we need help. We need the Spartans to beat them, and then we need to win tonight to get first place and get the bye. If Michigan-Dearborn wins, they're in. They don't need any help. They need to win. Both us and Adrian need help from each other to control our destiny. So,
talk about parity.
Absolutely. The top 3 teams. And Michigan State's not that far back at 14 points. They had a pair of games last weekend versus Michigan-Dearborn that did not go their way, and that really took them out of the race. But up until the really 2 weekends before, there were 4 teams vying for those top 3 spots, which is huge.
And they're one of the big blemishes on our schedule.
Indeed.
That we feel like as a coulda, woulda, shoulda a little bit. So that makes a big difference, yeah.
Absolutely. So State is out of it now. They can't, even if they beat Adrian, they could only get to 18 points. Now, here's the funny thing, actually. I say they're out of it because I don't expect them to beat Adrian twice. If Michigan State beats Adrian twice, they will tie Adrian with 18 points, and they would have the goal. So it is possible, however unlikely, that Michigan State could knock Adrian out of the CCWHA playoffs.
So it would be Dearborn, Michigan, Ann Arbor, and Michigan State.
It would be.
No Adrian.
No Adrian.
Stop the clock. I mean, that would be.
Now, you could not. I would not make any bet. Nothing against Michigan State.
Right.
But trying to win 2 games versus Adrian is tough. So I wouldn't bet any kind of money that would happen.
It's home and home, right?
Yes, it's home and home. Okay. So you get 1 in one, but we need State to win one of those. On the other side, it's Indiana Tech up at the top with 24 points, 16 for Lake Superior State. So, by the way, the next 2 games, including the senior game tomorrow at 7:30, Lake State is no slouch.
Nope.
So
we may have to call Rob up in East Lansing and say, Rob, do us a huge favor.
Absolutely. Miami is in the number 3 spot with 14 points. I don't know if Grand Valley can catch them in the number 4 spot, and Aquinas and Davenport have had tough seasons. Taking a look at, let's remove that, and let's Nope, I don't want that one. I want this upcoming schedule.
Players are coming on the ice, too.
As players are about, we'll have the starting lineups in a moment. Game tomorrow, 7:30. That's the senior game versus Lake Superior State. Then 4 o'clock, the final game at Yost. And then the playoffs coming up Friday, the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th over at Burton at the Crystal Fieldhouse. As we are about to get our starting lineups here. Cinsoli coming out, starting for Dearborn. Schroeder skating out, starting for Dearborn. Savage, the left winger, coming out, starting for Dearborn. Zafman, starting defender, comes out for Dearborn.
They don't have the length we do, but they can scoot.
Absolutely. Finley, the other starting defender. And between the pipes is Borso. She has had a very, very good season despite the game last night. Now for the Ann Arbor squad. Lindahl, who has been fantastic, the points leader for the Ann Arbor team. She skates out. Malashevsky is your starting center for Michigan. Swanson, your other winger, starting for the Ann Arbor squad. That is a good line, absolutely. And your defender is Izzy German at one defense spot.
Twin Towers.
Absolutely. And, of course, the captain, Katie German, at the other defender's spot. Coach Tribbs put them together a couple weeks ago, and they have been good. And, of course, between the pipes, it's the brick wall. Ponef comes out, as she has been fantastic all season long.
When Izzy and Katie were freshmen, I asked them if they played together, and they looked at me like I was on drugs. They'd never really done it.
But they look like they know where each other's going to be. Here's the
great.
national anthem, folks.
Play some college hockey.
Indeed, absolutely. Getting ready for a little college hockey here. Gotta love it. Again, number 6 in the ACHA, University of Michigan from Ann Arbor, University of Michigan-Dearborn, number 7 nationally ranked. So top 10 matchup between these two teams should be a heck of a game. Both very skilled squads. And just love to see this amount of talent in Michigan playing at a high level women's hockey.
They're putting Emily out to take the opening draw, super high hockey IQ. If there's anybody who doesn't need much coaching, that certainly is her. Great at the draw.
As we will hope, Michigan has not had, the Ann Arbor squad has not had a lot of fast starts. We're going to hope that Michigan can get a good start here as Michigan-Dearborn coming off of a tough game versus Adrian yesterday, but honestly, we know that's just going to make them fired up. Coach probably didn't have to say anything to get this team's best effort, their focus, their intensity. They want to remove that from their mind. And they're going to try and take it out on us. And we just need to weather the storm and make them pay.
Yeah, it's our house. Come on.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They play like they're varsity. It's time to send them home defeated.
Huge game here as Malashevsky in to take the face-off. Swanson to her left, Lindahl to her right. Schroeder on the other side of the face-off. Izzy and Katie at the blue line. Poneth in between the pipes. On the other side, Borso. Schroeder has Savage to her left. Sensoli to her right, and we are underway as that puck right at center ice. Got caught in a pair of skates back. Finley sends it along over to Zafman. Zafman all the way deep into the Michigan zone. Katie German chases it back behind Poneth, has it underneath the near circle. Lindahl down the near boards. Lindahl trying to pull that away as she has, again, more than a point per game average, and that has been all season long. She's been great. That back to the blue line, held in there, racing back. Izzy German into the far corner, trying to get around Sensoli. That comes all the way around and over. Here comes Michigan up to Swanson. That tipped off of her skate. Finley has that intercepted by Swanson. Top of the near circle. Swanson shot. There's a save as Malashevsky trying to get it. Swanson fires it right back behind.
Nice job. Looked off on that shot. Didn't expect a shot on net. That was good.
Coming up is Katie German has it at her own blue line. Fires it ahead. Here comes Flazar. Flazar trying to move that over again. We want to wish our condolences to the Flazar family who lost.
Absolutely.
Allie lost her grandmother last Saturday, and we appreciate her being out there. Can't be easy. Flazar back behind the goal underneath the far circle.
Somebody in front.
Fires it. Cevallos at the blue line. That knocked away, trying to come down.
Number one rule.
Racing in. That moved over, and a great save as Evers moved it over to Savage. Savage with the point-blank shot, and Poneth saving the Ann Arbor squad's bacon there as that comes all the way back to the blue line. Picked up. Cevallos moves it over. Gustafson has it down the near boards. Gustafson fires it back deep. That rims all the way back into the far corner. Spence has it there. Spence trying to dig it away from Simmer. Now Carr trying to grab it. That fired back to the blue line but held in as Kolwich trying to fire it through. That pulled the other direction. Racing. Here comes Gillen. Gillen takes the top of the far circle. Gillen over onto the near circle. That shot by O'Neill. As that shot by O'Neill Macio.
Look at how physical they're being already.
Right outside into the near corner, O'Neill DiMacio.
They beat Marty to the zone because of being physical. Now they're knocking us all over.
Trying to knock it off of the near boards. Michigan trying to pull that away. Simmer down on the ice. That fires all the way around. Outside the far circle, Gillen trying to get to it. Now Matthews trying to hold it in. Puck into the near corner. Gillen goes back behind. Borso rims it all the way around. Right back to the near blue line, knocked away by Lindahl. Lindahl trying to bring it in. She fires it back deep. Schroeder trying to knock that away. Now Nicole Hahn picked that up.
Schroeder trying to muscle Lindahl out just all over late after the play. It's going to be physical.
Sensoli has it underneath the far circle, coming ahead with it. Sensoli down the far board. Sensoli gains his own. Sensoli on the far circle, knocked away. Good job by Katie German back behind her own goal. Pirro knocks her off with the puck. Sensoli in the far corner. All the way back to Warren at the far point. Now Sensoli back to Warren in the slot. Good job to knock it away by Lindahl. Here comes Michigan. That deflects off. In along the near boards, picked up by Warren. Now moved in along the far boards, coming ahead with it. Sensoli fires it back deep. That comes all the way around the boards. As trying to take a look here, as you had mentioned something, as there was a game misconduct to Nicole Hahn yesterday. I'm surprised to see her out there.
I don't think she's supposed to be.
As that comes out, I swear I saw her. Maybe I got the wrong number.
Okay, check that because I'm in direct contact with the coaching staff.
As Evers, and again, maybe I'm wrong about that. That's just what we saw off the sheet. As Izzy German takes it right back behind the goal. Now Gordon has it. Gordon trying to get it around Evers. As Hansen gets it right back. That flipped right back behind Poneth into the near corner. Katie German has it in along the near boards. Evers takes it down. Now Izzy German trying to pull that away. Evers right back behind the Michigan goal. As that down the near boards, back to the near point. Finley with it. Finley cross ice pass. as there's a shot, got knocked down by Michigan, pulled away, now moved off of the near boards.
We're playing in the wrong zone.
Izzy German gets it over to Flazar. Flazar trying to get it deep into the Dearborn zone. Finley right back behind, trying to pull that away. Flazar trying to dig it out of the boards. Now Gillen rose to get it. And
nice
knocked
pinch,
down.
nice pinch.
Gustafson with, again, indeed, a good pinch. That pulls ahead as that Spence with it back, and that's sent. Evers knocks it down, and here comes Hansen. Hansen races onto the near circle. Hansen. Finley gets to it first. Back behind her own goal. Finley into the far corner. Matthews sends it right back behind.
Lucy's tired.
Spence underneath the near circle. Moves it back into the neutral zone. Ceballos grabs it at center ice. Ceballos feeds it ahead. And racing back. Carr trying to get to it. That deflected over to Simmer. Simmer centering attempt. And that knocked down and saved as they haven't blown it yet. Now they did. That was interesting.
Yeah. Boy, Marty's doing a nice job of using the high glass. They laid it up there, zone passes for those forwards. She had that shot blocked, and now she's focused. Trips probably said, hey, number one rule for a defenseman, don't get that shot blocked from the point. It's a breakaway.
That is number 12 there back at the bottom of the circle, so I do believe that's Nicole Hahn. Again, I'm not positive on all the rules.
Let me look at the score sheet from last night.
Yeah. As that pulled all the way back, and that is going to be here. I'll find it for you.
Okay.
That's going to be right back into the Dearborn end with it. I'll get you the score sheet.
I'm here,
from
the
last
guy
night.
who has enough reference material to spend the day looking for something.
Sorry, I print a lot of stuff out. I should be paperless, but I am not. As Nicole Hahn right back behind as Hung trying to get on top of that. That comes all the way around. Izzy German back at the far point.
That's her, right?
And Nicole Hahn, I believe number 12, gave misconduct at 10:40 in the third yesterday. So that's interesting. She's out there. Knocked down as in along the far boards. Cummings trying to get to it. Now that pull back coming in with it is Cinsoli. Cinsoli puts it in along the end board. Cinsoli trying to get it out in front. Good job by Pontiff. Here comes Michigan. They ricocheted off the near boards as the Ann Arbor squad coming back deep. Warm has it. Fires it ahead. Knocked down as Katie German has it at her own blue line. Fires it back as that comes all the way around the far boards. Picking it up. Zafum has it at her own blue line. Zafum coming over to Savage. Savage trying to fire it back deep. Coming in. Schaefer back over to Savage. That goes into the far corner. Trying to pull it back. Cinsoli has it. Right back in along. There's a shot and a save by Pontiff. Again, not trying to get anyone in trouble, but want to make sure everything's fair.
No, we want this
there.
to be. We got to follow the rules here. I'm just following the rules. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. 13:37 left to go here in the first. 0-0 is the score. Michigan down the near boards, trying to fire it ahead to Lindahl. Lindahl tips it back out into the neutral zone. Finlay right in front of the scorer's bench. Savage has it there, trying to dig it off of the near boards. Savage gets it back. Ceballos sends it to the Michigan blue line. Gustafson down the far boards. Swanson trying to get to it. That's stolen. Here comes Cinsoli. Cinsoli on the far circle shot. That comes all the way around back to the near point. Finley with it. Finley. That pulled away right at the blue line. Fired ahead by Swanson. Here comes Michigan. Lindahl trying to get back to it. Barso covers it up as she's able to get to it before Lindahl can get through the defenders. 13:05 left to go here.
And Coach Ned isn't doing much color because he's communicating a potential issue.
So that moved over onto the far circle, pulled back around by Nicole Hahn. That comes outside the far circle. Now Schroeder has that deflected. Michigan has it at the far point. Hansen with it down the far boards. Hansen into the far corner. Hansen has that tip back. Flazar trying to move it right back behind. Grabbed there by Piero. Piero back behind her own goal. Piero rims it around the far boards. They're taken back behind as Vanden Heuvel gets it into the near corner. As Nicole Hahn puts it right back behind into the far corner, bringing it ahead. Forgive me, both Hung and Hahn. Get my item set. There's a shot by Gordon. That got knocked right out in front as that's down onto the ice, picked up coming down the far boards. Here comes Piero. Piero gets it over to Evers. Evers, that's stolen away. Bucksbaum fires it right back deep into the Dearborn zone with 12:09 left to go. Gathered up underneath the far circle is Nicole Hahn.
See, they didn't call that icing.
There's coming ahead, trying to get to it, his car. That deflected off of the far board, sent right back behind Borso. As Simmer trying to pull it away. That tip by Nicole Hahn underneath the far circle.
Who's in front?
His car trying to get it in front. That back to Katie German with the shot on the blue line. And right to Borso. Nice that got deflected out in front. What a job by Matthews to deflect it out in front. And Borso with a highlight reel save. I don't know how you can react to that quickly. But
now the kicker is you hit them in the emblem, the logo, and that's the one place they can't get out of the way.
Yeah.
That was a nice tip.
11:42 left to go. Zapham
Sam almost had a nice deke to put it in there, too. So.
Absolutely. Carr trying to knock it away. Michigan from Ann Arbor trying to keep the pressure on. That comes all the way back into the Ann Arbor zone. Grab there, coming back behind. Katie German brings it ahead. Katie German over to Simmer down the near board. Simmer through center ice. Simmer fires it deep into the Dearborn zone. Racing back to get it is Warm. Warm back behind her own goal into the far corner. Now Schroeder has it down the far board. Schroeder brings it ahead over center. Schroeder over coming down the near boards as O'Neill Damasio has it and picked up. And racing down, here comes Lindahl. Lindahl into the slot. Lindahl with a shot, and she just missed high to the near side. She's trying to go high, glove side.
Look at that back door, wide open.
Now, top of the far circle, there comes Swanson with a shot, saved by Borso, trying to get it back behind is Malashevsky. The puck right in along the end boards. Now Swanson trying to dig it out the end boards. Swanson. Now trying to get it to Lindahl. She's in a pack of Dearborn players. That comes in along the near boards. Here comes Pirro. Pirro races down the near boards with it. Pirro gains the Ann Arbor zone. Pirro into the near corner. Ceballos trying to knock that away. The puck outside the near circle. Here comes Ann Arbor as Lindahl trying to get it out of the zone. Held in by Savage. The puck right back behind. Picked up in along the far boards by Gustafson. Over to Swanson. Swanson backhands it to the blue line. Finley has it back in the neutral zone. Dearborn has to set back up as that's grabbed back behind by Schroeder. Schroeder in her own zone. Over to Finley. Finley tips it over to Savage down the near boards. That puck, here comes Lazar, gets it into the zone. That grab. And again, Spence trying to fire it ahead. Schroeder.
She likes to take it end to end. We'll see how this goes.
Schroeder gains the zone. Schroeder, top of the far circle. Schroeder has that tipped away in along the far board. Swanson trying to get to it. The puck back behind is Savage, has it underneath the near circle. That was Schroeder, and that came right through. Unbelievable.
We got away with one there, too.
It looked like it hit right across the goal line, but did not cross.
And somebody knocked a Dearborn player on their can.
As that puck battling outside the near circle, trying to dig it out of there. Vandenheuvel has it back to the near point as Pirro trying to get to it as Hansen had it knocked away. Good job by Evers to pull that away from the Ann Arbor squad. Now in along the near boards. Here comes Gustafson over to Flazar, held in. Pirro has it, top of the near circle. Pirro sending it right through the slot, trying to get it over to Evers. That picked up by Vandenheuvel back to the far point. Spence had it knocked away. Finley holds it in. Now they retreat as Spence retreats back to her own center ice. Finley coming down the near boards, fires it in. That tipped by Evers into the near corner.
Got a stick to watch out for.
Absolutely, that can cause issues as Michigan-Ann Arbor comes over their own blue line, racing ahead. Here comes Matthews. Matthews gains the zone, puts it into the near corner. Matthews right back behind Borso, chips it over to Simmer outside the near circle. Simmer right out in front and covered up by Borso. That went off of a defender's skate. Otherwise, Matthews was trying to come around the backside of that goal.
Just like we coach her. That was a nice, smart play. She's a chaos maker, and she can fly.
Absolutely.
One of our seniors.
Face-off in the near face-off circle. That is to the left of Borso with 8:37 left to go. Scoreless here from Yost Ice Arena. Game between University of Michigan of Ann Arbor, University of Michigan of Dearborn. Nicole Hahn back into the near corner. That grab is O'Neill Damasio has it in along the end boards.
That's interference.
And pulled around. Warm has it back behind. One of our players went down on the ice and fired ahead. Now held in. Good job by Kolwich to fire it into the slot. That pulled in along the near boards as O'Neill Damasio sends it to the blue line, trying to pull it in. Buckspawn does a good job to keep it out. Now O'Neill Damasio has it outside the near circle. O'Neill Damasio in along the end boards and trying to dig it away. Now sent out by Gillum. And grabbed and fired ahead, loose right at the blue line. Now picked up. Here comes Michigan through center ice. Kolwich gets it into the zone. Racing back, trying to chase it. His car into the near corner. Zafum has it back behind their own goal. Zafum.
Good discipline as a defenseman to get back and leave that for a forward.
O'Neal Damasio sends it ahead to Schroeder, who puts it back deep into the Michigan zone. That grabbed in along the far boards by Kolwich. Kolwich gets it over to Cummings. Now Fung gets it right to the blue line. Sinsoli holds it in. She ends up colliding with Kolwich and goes kind of backside over topside, and that held in by Savage, top of the far circle. Savage has it deflected. Good defense back there by Cummings. Now coming down the far boards, Michigan able to get it all the way down by Ferris, but that will be icing and head back into the Ann Arbor zone.
We just keep trying to make that cute little move in the danger zone right inside our own blue line, and they're picking our pocket and walking back in with an odd man rush. That's going to make people crazy.
Indeed.
And 12 is definitely getting her minutes in and as much hacking as she can if she's not supposed to be here, because, man, is she a monster with tripping and interference.
7:12 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far, picking up Hung. Hung trying to avoid Nicole Hahn. That coming on along the near boards. Now trying to pull it. Nicole Hahn down the near boards, gets it over to Perro. Perro moves it. That comes into the zone. Michigan gets it. Ann Arbor gets it right in along the near boards.
Kara's everywhere. That's great.
Nicole Hahn right at her own blue line, fired ahead. That goes all the way back into the Michigan, into the Ann Arbor zone. Picked up by Katie German, trying to fire it out ahead. That loose, deflected in along the far boards. Here comes Swanson. Swanson moves it ahead and fired back deep into the near corner. As that was a good job by the captain, Katie German, to put it in deep.
Yep.
And Nicole Hahn fires it. That's into the neutral zone. As Cummings trying to make it difficult, they pull it in and off sides as Schroeder came in.
She likes to do it herself, and that's what happens. It's, we had the numbers, so.
Yeah, Evers had just slid over the blue line before as Schroeder made a little deke at the blue line, and that caused the offsides.
I love playing against teams where there's a lot of individuals on the other team.
6:23 left to go here in the first. Scoreless. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl trying to put it back deep. Grabbed by Zafum. Zafum right at the top, right at the near point. Malashevsky puts it into the far corner. Grabbed there by Swanson. Swanson trying to move it over to Lindahl. Lindahl picks it up. Lindahl, top of the far circle. Lindahl weaves through traffic. That knocked down. Good defense by Dearborn. Deflected off of the near boards by Izzy German. Battle for it in along the near boards. Picked up. Here comes Swanson with a shot that just goes wide. Vanden Heuvel has it outside the far circle. Vanden Heuvel moves it ahead. Malashevsky trying to keep it in. That tipped right back out to center ice in Michigan. The Ann Arbor squad moves it right back into the Dearborn end. Here comes Zafman. Into the zone. Zafman on the far circle, tipped away. Now Gillum puts it right back behind the Michigan goal. Gathered up there and along the near boards. Here comes Michigan as trying to knock it away is Ceballos. The puck outside the near circle. Back to Worm at the near point. Worm goes high slot with a shot. There's a save by Ponnet. The puck outside the near circle as Lindahl trying to get it out of the zone. Lindahl gets it into the neutral zone. Picked up by Hansen. Hansen down the near board. She's pinned against the boards. That picked up coming in. Here comes Gillum. Gillum. And that deflected. Good job by Izzy German. Back behind the puck.
Chip.
Rimmed all the way around. Spence at the far point. Hansen gets it out. Gillum pulls it away. Gillum through the snow. That pulled over to Flazar. Flazar trying to get away from the linesman. As Finley has it on the near circle. Finley back behind her own goal. Finley underneath the far circle. That ahead to Gillum. Now here comes Pirro. Pirro ahead. Intercepted by Michigan right at their own blue line as that was Bucksbaum trying to fire it ahead. Now Flazar trying to dig it out. Here comes Hansen.
Go to the net, guys.
Hansen with a shot, a save, and loose, and Spence gets it right back to Borso. Now, forgive me, I'm trying to remember to say Ann Arbor when I say Michigan, but it's hard to remember.
With the winged helmets and the big M, it's like we're playing the reverse team. Another universe or something.
Absolutely. Malashevsky in to take the face-off versus Schroeder on the near circle. Here comes Nicole Hahn. Nicole Hahn down the far boards. That brought ahead. Here comes Savage. Savage over center. Savage gains the zone. Outside the far circle. Savage as they tipped away by Kolwich. Trying to move it ahead was Matthews. That goes right back behind Ponith into the near corner. Bucksbaum feeds it over to Kolwich in the far corner. That grabbed. Top of the far circle. Worm with a shot. Stick saved by Ponith. Outside the near circle. Nicole Hahn brings it right back into the far corner. Fired ahead. Tipped there at the far point. Held in by Worm outside the far circle. Now Sinsoli coming in. Sinsoli into the spot. Trying to get it back to Sinsoli, and just the puck wouldn't settle down for her. Now Matthews gets it back to the far point, but that's held in by Sinsoli. Now Worm. Here comes Matthews as
nice
she's knocked
check
off the puck. Grabbing it, Sinsoli back to her own blue line. Sinsoli for Dearborn. That slips all the way back. 3:35 left to go. Scoreless so far here in the first. Quickly ahead. Evers has it tipped away. Evers trying to get it back as she puts it in deep now. Katie German pulls it back behind. Nope, in front of her own goal. Katie German down the near boards.
Good point.
She has a lot more guts than I do. I know that much. Here comes Lindahl, and there's a whistle. Trying to see what
Must
was
be a penalty because
called.
Sandy came out. I missed it, although I hadn't missed many of the other ones.
Tripping is the call at 3:18.
Good thing we've got a camera woman here telling us what the penalty is.
It's my wife always helping out hugely. We appreciate that. And into the box goes Evers. So Michigan Ann Arbor has the power play. Puck into the near corner as Cummings trying to pull it away. Cummings.
Got time.
Right back behind Borso. Cummings underneath the far circle. Cummings moves it right back, trying to get it over to Malashevsky. That pulled by Zafman. Zafman pins it into the near corner. Malashevsky now. Swanson trying to get it. That pulled away by Cummings. Cummings outside the near circle. Cummings back to Bucksbaum at the near point. Bucksbaum fires it. That grabbed right back over. Back to Bucksbaum at the near point. Bucksbaum.
Nice hard
over
pass.
Top of the far circle. There's a shot that comes all the way outside the near circle, picked up by Pirro. Pirro backhands it back deep, racing ahead. Here comes Vandenheuvel to make it hard for the Ann Arbor squad to get out of their own zone. Bucksbaum picks it up back behind Ponith, coming down the far boards. Bucksbaum ahead to Swanson. Swanson cross ice pass over to Lindahl. That tip, but wouldn't stay on her stick. That fired right back by Nicole Hahn, right back behind the Michigan goal. Now coming down the far boards. Here comes the Ann Arbor squad. That ricocheted over to Lindahl. Lindahl gains his own. Lindahl outside the near circle into the near corner. Nicole Hahn trying to make it difficult for her underneath the far circle. Lindahl still with it. Lindahl moves it to Katie German. High slot. Katie German.
Pretty aggressive.
Over to Carr. Carr on the near circle. Carr. Puck wouldn't
now rip
settle
it
down. Now it's in a score. Carr puts it in.
Boom, boom.
Upper right-hand corner. And Carr with the goal puts the Ann Arbor squad up 1-0.
Nice.
What a beautiful, beautiful shot by Carr.
She's got those hands, and she ripped it top shelf. Nice.
Power play goal at 1:57. Carr with it.
A freshman.
Absolutely.
Well, they're over-aggressive on their penalty kill, and when you get that line out there realizes that, they can look ahead and move it quick. They can take advantage of an over-aggressive penalty kill.
I'm wondering what Coach Tribb saw if she watched the game last night, because they've been trying to go upper glove side on Borso so far from what I've seen. Coming in along the far boards, held in by Worm. Worm ports it outside the far circle. Now
can't get happy now. We've got to finish this period out strong. There's less than 2 minutes to go. So
here comes Carr down the far boards. Moves it over to Simmer down the near boards. Simmer has it. Simmer backhands it ahead. Here comes Matthews. Matthews outside the near circle into the near corner. Battling back there. Trying to get it away from O'Neill DiMacio.
Here you go, open in front.
Back behind, trying to get it out in front was Ferris. Wouldn't go. That fired all the way back into the neutral zone. Picked up there, moved over to Katie German. Katie German whips it ahead, as that will be icing and head back into the Ann Arbor end.
We're smarter than that. Oh well.
We were expecting to have it slow down, I think, right around the near circle, and it just kind of powered right through. 1 minute left to go here in the first, 1-0. The Ann Arbor squad is up.
Shots are 9 for Ann Arbor and 7 for Dearborn.
Face off in the near face off circle. That's centered now, pulled ahead. Here comes Michigan racing down ahead with it. Is Ferris. Ferris trying to make a move, puts it into the far corner. As that's pulled back by Finley all the way around the boards. Evers with it there. Evers down the near boards through the neutral zone. All the way back to the Ann Arbor blue line. Gustafson fires that ahead. And it's sent right back deep, right back behind Poneth. Is racing back to get
Watch
it.
that slot.
Vanden Heuvel hands it into the near corner. Vanden Heuvel drops it back to Finley. Finley shoots it wide to the far side. Now racing out to get it. The puck outside the far circle. Held in, coming in. Zafman has it. Zafman with a shot blocker save. Great job by Poneth. That put back behind with 17 seconds left to go. The Ann Arbor squad is having issues. Is that a couple opportunities for Evers? Back to Finley now. Evers has it on the near circle. High slot that slips back.
That should do it.
And that should do it for the end of the first.
Settle down. Wow.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will do it as Ann Arbor, Michigan-Ann Arbor has the lead 1-0 at the end of one. What are your thoughts on that period there, Coach?
Well, the period ended just in time. We got a little happy. I mean, we have to thank Sandy for coming out of that period at the end, especially. Shots are tied 9-9, and she made a couple of great saves. These guys are really good at roofing it. She was down. Was over her shoulder, and she got a blocker on it.
Yeah.
I would say that Dearborn responded very well to that being put down. So if I'm Michigan, I'm going in there, taking a deep breath and saying, "Hey, we got to take care of our end a little bit better."
Yeah, because they responded really well after that goal.
Yeah.
I think we were trying to cruise to the end of the period, and they were trying to get it tied up as quickly as possible.
I totally agree.
Well, let's step away, play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band, and then we'll have your ACHA scoreboard report. We'll also talk about the top 10 in the ACHA, and we will be back with more action as you're watching Michigan Women's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. Let's do an intermission scoreboard report as taking a look all the way back on February 9th, day after Michigan last played. It was Minnesota beating D1, University of Minnesota beating D2, University of Wisconsin in overtime 4-3. Other Division I scores, as I'm flipping through lots of D2 action, it was Adrian College beating Liberty, final in overtime 4-3. Other D1 action, it was Denver beating Utah 6-4. Lake Superior State doubled up Aquinas 4-2. Penn State tied in overtime 3-3 versus Division II Villanova. It was this Michigan-Dearborn team beating Indiana Tech 3-2. McKendree beat Maryville 2-1, and it was Midland beating Jamestown 3-0. Taking a look on that next Saturday, February 10th, D1 action. As we scroll down, again, lots of D2 stuff going on that day. It was Colorado putting it on Wyoming 17-1. Liberty again ended up tying Adrian College, final in overtime 1-1. So that was a huge Adrian tying and beating Liberty. It's not easy. Visiting forfeit between Davenport and Minnesota. So Davenport forfeit that one. It will end up 1-0 Minnesota. Other scores for that Friday. Really need a way to filter this down to just D1. Grand Valley State lost to Lindenwood. Lindenwood beat them 6-1. And Utah beat Denver 4-2. It was Lake Superior State sweeping Aquinas 7-2. Rhode Island put it on the Worcester Polytechnic Institution. That was 10-0. Penn State beat Villanova again 4-3. Minot beat Assaborn in overtime 1-0. That was D2 Assaborn. Indiana Tech fell to University of Michigan-Dearborn 3-2. That one in Fort Wayne, and it was Midland beating Jamestown, sweeping them 5-1. Taking a look at action that Sunday as we pull over. Let's see if there's any D1 action, as it was Colorado State beating Denver by a score of 3-2. Minnesota beat University of St. Thomas 6-4. As it was, continuing to scroll down, Colorado putting it on Wyoming again, 13-1. What a differential on that. Minnesota again forfeit by Davenport, as they just didn't. Looks like Davenport wasn't able to make the trip out to Minneapolis. So that was a 1-0 win by Minnesota. Final in overtime, Lindenwood beat Grand Valley State. Grand Valley State forcing overtime over at Griff's versus Lindenwood. Lindenwood still won 4-3. And Minot ended up sweeping Assaborn College 3-0. That was that Sunday. Now, no action, no D1 action on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It was a D2 action on Thursday, of course. It was Liberty hosting Indiana Tech. No score reported from yesterday. And Adrian versus University of Michigan-Dearborn 7-0. That is your ACHA intermission scoreboard report. We are here. We have 8 minutes left. We'll play a bit more of the Michigan Marching Band, and we will be right back with your second period action. You're watching Michigan Women's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. as we are coming out of the first intermission, it is 1-0. Let me stop the yellow and the blue there. Come on. There we go. As we are hopping and ready to get going. And by the way, did look into it, and it looks like no official extra game out there for
Han?
Han, yeah, Nicole Han. I was trying to come up with the right. We have
Solo.
Nicole Han and Victoria Han. Victoria Han is a goalie, and then we have Hung on our team.
Ava
so
Hung, yes.
The small squirrel upstairs in my head was having problems moving the wheel.
Well, you know how many Katies? We've had Katies, we've had Katie, and Avas, and some wild ones.
Absolutely. Well, so Michigan with the 1-0 lead. Michigan-Dearborn really made it difficult on them towards the end there, and they've had some good opportunities. So the Michigan defense needs to keep strong, and we would love another goal by the Ann Arbor squad to try and get a little bit of comfort here. So we do not want to give this Dearborn squad any sort of light to get their momentum going and make it hard here. So skating down to the right is Poneth. Number 6 in the nation, Michigan from Ann Arbor versus number 7, University of Michigan-Dearborn. And like we said, it looks like both Michigan and Michigan-Dearborn guaranteed into the CCWHA playoffs if Adrian wins. I believe it's tonight versus Michigan State. Either that or it's Saturday or Sunday. I didn't look up. I know they play them home and home this weekend. If Adrian wins, they will absolutely be in. If Adrian wins them both, they could get the number 1 spot. So all depends on what happens. Still lots going on as great top teams here in the CCWHA. And all of these teams hoping to be at Nationals coming up.
Starters are starting, so we're back with the same group.
So that's fired all the way back, racing back to get it. Katie German into the near corner of the Ann Arbor zone. Now bringing it ahead, held in by Zapham. Knocked down as that's right through the slot into the far corner. Katie German trying to tip it away from Savage. Savage gets it underneath and along the end boards. Malashevsky fires that around. One of the players, I believe that Savage, is down in along the end boards. We do not want to see any of these players injured.
I don't know if she got a stick to the face or what. I don't know that they saw anything.
I didn't see the officials are talking things over. As Savage is slow to get up. It is Savage to her knee. I didn't hear a big collision back there, but something can happen as clapping. Everyone happy to see Savage up. And we do not, again, we'd love to see a great game, everyone playing their guts out, but we do not want to see any of these amazing athletes injured. They're going to bring that right back outside of the Michigan zone.
You didn't see it. Might have been a late stick or something that appeared that like something caught her in the face.
Yeah, it might have been incidental.
That's a good way to put it.
As that comes back, Vanden Heuvel gets it back to the blue line now and along the near board. Zapham fires it ahead, picked up, top of the near circle. Cevallos ricochets it down. Now Lindahl trying to get it deep. That flipped right back, grabbing and firing it in is Evers into the near corner. Sticked and helped into the near corner by Poneth in along the near board. Swanson trying to pull it away from Pirro. Swanson, that deflects. Good job by Evers to keep it in. Vanden Heuvel outside the near circle, gets it over to Pirro on the near circle. There's a shot by Evers.
Man, if they could hit the net, they'd be dangerous.
And all the way back to the far point. Battle for it, and that right up into the Dearborn bench. So you always got to keep your eyes on what's going on in the bench. How many pucks have you had to?
A lot of pucks. A lot of caught one with my mouth and lost a tooth, but it wasn't coaching.
Well, fair enough. We have lots of good dentistry nowadays. So, a puck down the far boards. Flazar trying to dig it out of there, and then it comes back to Bucksbaum.
Smart.
Top of the far boards. Now that fired back. We'll see if it tipped anyone.
Cross icing.
Don't think it tipped anyone. They'll send it all the way back into the Ann Arbor zone. 18:48 left to go here from Yost Ice Arena. 1-0. Ann Arbor with the lead.
Best names that we had one year are two great defensemen, a Kylie and a Kaylee. And, in the heat of battle, I'm not going to get those right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So one became KB and one became Rocky. She was from Colorado. And
there you go.
That's how I lived through that.
Brilliant. They tend to frown on me giving random nicknames on the broadcast, but that's okay. The puck into the near corner. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. As Gordon trying to dig it out of the near corner, here comes Michigan. Firing it ahead as Ann Arbor squad in along the near boards. Flazar gets it over to Hansen. Hansen outside the near circle into the near corner. Hansen trying to get around Nicole Hung. And into the far corner. Now bringing it ahead is O'Neill Damasio.
Way to force her.
Coming back and along the near boards, tipped by Colwich. Coming ahead is Gordon. Gordon fires it back deep. Nicole Hahn has it. And she knocks it right into the Michigan bench.
Through the door. That should be a partial point there.
That's impressive. Maybe I've been watching too many Canadian football, but I think if you do a kickoff in football, you get through the field goal, that should be a point.
Yeah.
I think you should get a quarter of a point for making that in.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
That is impressive.
We got a replay on that?
Unfortunately, we do not have our director this evening. Mike Butler was otherwise engaged. We apologize for no reviews. We should have replay tomorrow as we're digging out of there. Also, our second camera person over at the Pioneer Father Gabriel Richard game. Outside the far circle.
There. Put it in front.
Yep. Right in front, trying to get to it. That was able to deflect away. Good defense.
Should be icing.
Back there, Bison Solely all the way back. That should indeed be icing and head back into the Dearborn end.
Well, Michigan's coming out with a little step. Somebody said something in the locker room. I mean, the Ann Arbor crew. So let's see if we can stick with it and get some shots on net.
Now, you still have time in this game, but we do have two more games for the regular season upcoming tomorrow at 7:30. It's senior night. We'd love to see you down here versus Lake Superior State. Then 4 o'clock on Sunday.
My promise of good seats still holds.
Absolutely. As Matthews back and held in by Izzy German. Deflected by Simmer, but the puck went settled down the near boards. Here comes Pirro. Good job by Izzy German to knock that right back into neutral zone. Zafum brings it, and, well, now she's waiting for everyone to get back on side. Zafman puts it into the slot. Izzy German has it down the near boards ahead to Carr. Carr gets it around. Good job.
I like to watch this.
Worm with a good recovery defensively. Now Izzy German moves it back, picking it up. Worm has it back on the far circle of her own zone. Dearborn resetting in their own zone. Sinsoli had it. That fired right back in by Matthews. Deep but grabbed by Zafman. Tipped away. Sinsoli has it at her own blue line. Knocked down by Worm. Now trying to move it was Matthews down the near boards.
Sell it down, Izzy.
Izzy German gets it over to Katie German down the far boards. Knocked down by Pirro. Now here comes Lindahl. Fires it back deep into the near corner. Zafman has it in the near corner. Sending it along the near boards over to Sinsoli. Sinsoli gets it right to center. That fired back deep by Schroeder. Right back behind the goal into the far corner. Now that brought ahead as Cevallos trying to get it from outside the far circle. That deflected back into the neutral zone. Spence fires it right back deep into the Ann Arbor end.
Set it up.
Grabbed by Cevallos and along the near board. Van den Heuvel tried to pick it up. Battle for it in the near corner. Van den Heuvel gets it top of the near circle. Schroeder over to Spence. Spence to Finley, top of the far circle. That deflected and boy.
My.
Getting a glove on it was Poneth, as that was an excellent opportunity for the Dearborn squad.
I think it actually hit one of the two players that were piled up at the post too.
All the way back to Finley. Finley moves it over to Spence. High slot. Spence trying to get it into the slot. Trying to turn and move. Good job by Malashevsky to knock it away. Here comes Swanson. Swanson
take that shot.
Through center.
Far post.
Swanson shot at that. Covered up as it hit the near post and tried to sneak behind the pads.
Yeah.
That was a really good job by Borso to find that, because that's scary when it gets behind your pads like that.
Yeah, they can't look down very easily and see through those goalie masks.
Yeah.
It's tough when the puck's down below your feet.
It's hard enough for your normal skaters to get lost in the skates.
Yes,
I mean, that happens, let alone with the chin protector and everything else. Flazar in along the end boards trying to get it is Worm. Had it. Colwich firing it out in front. Gordon trying to get in front, and that covered up by Borso.
Not very well.
Oh, Gordon was right there waiting for a rebound, and Borso able to get it covered. 1-0. The Ann Arbor squad with the lead. 15:32 left to go here in the second.
Minami is not very big, but she doesn't take any crap in front, and she is very physical, strong, and on her skates and does a nice job there.
And don't let anyone tell you watch these games, you watched the game yesterday at Adrian, don't tell me that women's hockey is not physical. I'm sure there's a lot of bumps and bruises right through the crease. That pulled and along the far boards, picked up by Kolwich in the far corner. Kolwich bringing it ahead for the Ann Arbor squad. Kolwich banks it off the far boards. Warham has it at her own blue line ahead. Down the near boards to Gillen. That wouldn't settle down. Gordon trying to get to it, but that fired back deep. Bucksbaum chasing it, trying to get it away from O'Neill Damasio.
Nice play by Tess to let them get in there first and take the angle. Nice saucer pass.
Tipped it along the near boards, trying to get it over. Now bringing it in Warham. Warham, top of the near circle.
Block.
That tipped away. Grabbed by Gordon. Now back behind. Bucksbaum trying to get to it. As Sinsoli trying to grab it around. Now Savage out there. We're glad to see Savage is all right. We don't want to see any of these players injured. Into the near corner. That brought ahead. Here comes Hansen. Hansen down the near boards, trying to get away from Piro. Hansen
nice check.
In front of the scorer's bench. That fired deep. As into the far corner it goes. Savage will pick it up. Nope, that will be Nicole Hahn. Is that tipped by Matthews right back into the far corner. Matthews trying to dig it off of the end boards. Now Simmer has it underneath the far circle.
Smart play here.
Simmer back to Izzy German. Izzy German, that shot got blocked. They have had a couple blocked shots from the blue line that have caused issues for Michigan. Izzy German moving it over to Katie German. That grabs and Soli puts it in along the end boards. Now Izzy German chasing back to get it. Trying to get it away from Schroeder. That tipped right back into neutral zone. Finley has it. Banks it off the near boards. Katie German has it underneath the near circle. Katie German moves in front of her own goal, down the far boards, and pulls back. Izzy German right back behind. Down the near boards it goes. Izzy German has Carr in front. Now Izzy German uses Carr as a blocker, fires it back deep into the near corner.
Good for Izzy. I'd love to give her a first goal puck.
That would be awesome as that moved over. Picked up down the near boards. As coming in with it. Here comes Schroeder. Schroeder with a shot. And steered by Poneth. Vanden Heuvel off the side of the net. Trying to dig it off that back netting. And they'll stop and blow the play dead.
She deserves it. So, all right, let's get this show on the road. We've played even long enough. Let's get one here.
13:21 left to go here in the second. 1-0. The Ann Arbor squad with the lead. Dearborn has had some good opportunities. Face-off to Poneth's left in the near face-off circle. That is going to be Cummings in there versus Schroeder. That puck top of the near circle. Evers with it. She's ever dangerous. That pulled around. Fired all the way back deep into the Dearborn end. Finley chasing it into the near corner. Hung trying to get to it. Thought it was tipped, but obviously the officials with a better view of it. And we'll head right back into the Ann Arbor zone.
They're making the big bucks, Mark.
Indeed, absolutely.
It may take a while to get paid by the university, but they are making the big bucks.
13-10 left to go.
That was always their complaint with refereeing our games. When are we going to get paid? There's a lot of red tape here on the Big Blue.
Yeah, we all do it for the love of the game. As that's moved in front. Stopped by Poneth. Battle for it out in front. Wow. And oh boy, Poneth comes in huge there. As it might not have been pretty, but
just drifted in.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dearborn on top of it, trying to make the Ann Arbor squad pay. 13 minutes left to go here in the second. 1-0. Ann Arbor up on Dearborn.
Too many people standing around watching. Let's fire up, guys.
Face-off in the near face-off circle. That is to the left of Poneth. Malashevsky in to take the face-off. It's going to be Piro on the other side. That puck again caught in the linesman's skate, trying to pull that away. Now Kolwich into the near corner, trying to get it away as O'Neill Damasio had it. Now that tipped right back to the far point, held in by Spence, knocked away. Good job by Malashevsky, trying to get it out. Spence able to hold it in. That ricochets off the end boards. Now Kolwich picks it up back behind her own goal. Fighting back there, trying to get it away from Gillen. Now here comes Lindahl. Lindahl down the far boards. Lindahl.
Spread out, guys.
Now Lindahl moves it ahead. Here comes Swanson. Swanson has it on the far circle. Back to Lindahl, and the puck wouldn't settle down. Outside the near circle it goes. Lifted all the way back to center. Picked up at the blue line. Now trying to move it ahead. Ricocheted ahead. Intercepted. And that brought right back in by Gillen. Yeah, right off the linesman's skate. Now ahead. Here comes Swanson. Swanson down the far board. Swanson fires it back deep. Off the end boards. Borso stops it back behind her own goal. Picked up by Nicole Hahn. Nicole Hahn Down the far board, she fires it. That picked up Cinsoli into the zone. High slot, Cinsoli coming in between the circles. That goes just high to the wide side. Trying to fire it out in front. Gordon trying to knock it away, and a good glove there by Poneth. A little pushing and shoving to the echo of the whistle there. 11:53 left to go here in the second.
Well, they're out shooting us 5-2. That is indicative of their energy. Even though they're having trouble hitting the net, they're definitely coming hard.
That knocked away. Here comes Hansen. Hansen racing ahead with it. Hansen gains his own. Hansen on the near circle. Hansen shot and a score! Hansen with a beautifully placed shot again, going maybe not high, but going to the glove side again and scoring.
Yeah, she can rip it. She's a stud. That was great. You could see it coming. She looked them off, looked to Allie, and got the goalie and the defenseman thinking, maybe she's going to pass. Found the hole. Sweet.
That was brilliant.
Good for her. She's our grade 8.
11:41. We have some really good scores on really each of these lines who can produce.
That's what we tried. The coaches are trying to make sure there's a finisher on each line. You get your grinder, your setup person, your finisher, and Lucy can do a few of those things, but she's definitely a finisher.
Absolutely, into the far corner, rimmed all the way around by Warren, back to the near point, held in by Izzy German, picked up. Now here comes Dearborn back to center ice. Pulled by Izzy German, back to the blue line. Cevallos fires it ahead. Here comes Matthews, tips it back deep.
Smart play. Keep it deep. They can bring it 128 feet.
Absolutely, and along the near board, sent the other direction. Simmer trying to pull it away off of the end boards. Warren has it right back behind. Here comes Carr. Carr has it in the slot. Carr, just her stick lifted, couldn't get it on. Havers ends up down to the ice.
She looked like a pin cushion. She had so many sticks in her.
Now moves it back to Gustafson with the blast. Oh, Matthews right out in front. I think Carr got a piece of it. Carr has it outside the far circle. Carr trying to dig it out of the boards.
Trying to set up for moves.
Coming back onto the near circle, Vanden Heuvel brings it ahead. Vanden Heuvel down the far boards. Vanden Heuvel, top of the far circle. That gets deflected into the near corner. Racing over to get it. Sent ahead by Gustafson. That goes all the way back. Icing waved off as Spence has it outside the near circle. 10:20 left to go. 2-0. Ann Arbor squad with the lead. That tipped right back to center ice and tipped ahead to the blue line. Gustafson moves it ahead. Coming in, here comes Cummings. Cummings outside the near circle. Cummings trying to sweep it deep. Oh, Hung has it in the high slot. Shot there and a glove save by Borso.
Keegan is so solid on D, and you know what? She's got a lot of points. She's setting up a lot of goals.
Absolutely. I think she is tied for 5th in points. That's no slouch for a defender. Yeah. Love to see those points coming in from the blue line as well. Love to see that. Katie German always good for some goals from the blue line. That puck outside the near circle, grabbing it, trying to move it back behind was Schroeder in along the far boards. Now that brought ahead by O'Neill Damasio down the near boards. As Kolwich moves it over to Ferris. Ferris back behind the goal. Ferris in along the far boards. Ferris. And tipped back away as O'Neill Damasio had it. She goes down. That picked up by Hung back and slips back into the neutral zone as Hung was pinned against the boards. Stopped by Poneth and along the near boards. Here comes Kolwich. Kolwich. And tipped.
Good.
But that'll be icing as from the wrong side of center. Well, we've seen Ferris play in a couple different locations. Is she naturally more of a defender or an offensive player? She's played both for us.
She's a defenseman, but she's very, very, very good.
Indeed, so absolutely. She plays well many places.
Yeah, she's good enough and versatile enough, and you appreciate that she can do both. And, she's got the length and the ability to do both, so it's hard to take her out of the lineup.
Great job by Hung to knock it away. Then picked up on the circle, now in along the near boards. Kolwich trying to pull that into the near corner. Pirro battling there. Now that picked up and sent by Savage back to the near point. Warm with it there. Warm digging it off the near boards and put into the near corner. Pirro has it back behind.
Back door.
Right in front. Good job by Poneth to keep her stick against the near post. And that fired all the way down the ice. Now racing back to get it, Warren, and that'll be icing.
Oh, can't change.
That is tough. If you watch both some of the high school games and the college games, high school, you can change on an icing, so that's a huge thing to get to do, whereas you cannot at the college or the pro levels. By the way, we will bring you the Michigan High School Girls Playoffs. Our goal is to bring you both D1 and D2 coming up, so we will have that for you. We'll put that on the schedule soon. Please check that out because that's the future of players for Michigan and the other ACHA schools. That comes all the way outside the near circle. Evers with it there. Evers puts it back to the near point to Warren. Stolen away. Held in somehow. Evers puts it out to the far circle. Shot there. Saved by Pontiff.
Guys, we got to get out of this end. Hey, I got to have a shout-out to our last year's captain. She's back for the weekend. Super supportive, super energy, great skater, great captain. Mickey Rubin is back in town. So shout out to her for being here. That should fire the girls up.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. Love to see the former players get involved. And we need to set some things up and honor some of those early CCWHA winning teams and things like that. Held in. Zapham has it at the near point, trying to pull it away. Then back to the blue line.
Here we go.
And into the near corner, racing back. Lindahl has it. Lindahl back behind. She's pinned against the boards.
Look in front. Who's in front?
Trying to get it over to Swanson. Now Malashevsky waiting for it on the near circle. Pull back, trying to move it over to Malashevsky. Still pinned against the boards. Now Swanson in along the near boards. That pulled away by Dearborn as they fire it back out to center. Katie German knocking it down. Here comes Izzy German down the far boards. Izzy German fires it back deep. That goes right back behind Borso into the near corner. Swanson trying to pull it there. Swanson sends it for a ride. Picked up by Savage outside the far board. Savage trying to get it out. Lindahl holds it in as that rims right out behind Borso. Picked up by Finley. Finley moves it underneath the far circle.
Tough
as
pass.
Zafman fires it all the way down. Grabbed by Katie German, but that's offsides. Evers just beat the puck over the blue line. Otherwise, that would have been a really good pass.
Yeah, that was a big outlet pass there. They've been held into their zone. Got behind us.
7:21 left to go here in the second. 2-0. Michigan with the lead, and Arbor squad, they'd like more. They don't want to let this Dearborn squad anywhere in the game as battle for it. Sinsoli right at the blue line. Hansen trying to dig it out of there. Hansen moves it down the near boards. Pirro has it at her own blue line. Tries to send it the other direction. Pirro has it knocked down. Gordon trying to battle there as that comes right back into Michigan zone. Knocked down as Gustafson trying to get it out of the zone. Sinsoli into the near corner. She is good. Pulled back behind by Gordon down the far boards. Here comes Slazar.
Gordon to come back and help on that.
Absolutely. Sinsoli is a handful. As that comes Nicole Hahn into the near corner. Fires it all the way around. Savage now outside the far circle. Spence has it back to Pirro. Pirro in along the near boards. That fired ahead by Sinsoli all the way back into the Michigan zone. Cevallos has it in the far corner.
Got time.
Gets it over to Gustafson. Gustafson down the near boards as the forwards get a line change for Michigan. And fired back deep by Matthews as that'll go right back behind Borso. Spence has it there. Spence helps it all the way around the boards. Coming ahead with it, O'Neal Damasio has it. O'Neal Damasio outside the far circle. Bucksbaum trying to fire, make her go wide. That grabbed it. Warham not able to hold it in. That slips all the way back into the Dearborn zone.
Tried to kick it to herself and missed it.
It can't be easy to try to make that happen.
No, especially when your knees hurt every time you do that. I miss them all the time.
I get that. As it comes all the way down the far boards, 5:51 left to go here in the second. The Ann Arbor squad up 2-1, brought back in by Warham as she sends it in along the end boards. Kolwich has it there, back behind her own goal. Kolwich coming down the near boards, trying to get it ahead.
Whoa.
Carr spun around down to the ice. And that into the near corner. Icing waved off. Trying to pull it is Lindahl underneath the near circle. Into the near corner. They have fired around by Matthews outside the far circle. Evers with it there. Swanson trying to dig it off of the boards. Brought ahead by Zafman. Zafman over her own blue line. Zafman
all herself.
Through center, Zafman, and back into Michigan zone. Grabbed by Katie German. Katie German trying to avoid Evers.
Nice.
Ahead to Lindahl.
Chip it out.
Lindahl trying to dig it off of the far boards. Battle for it there. Lindahl fires it. Held in by the Dearborn squad, but intercepted, sent down the near boards by Katie German. Swanson trying to get it ahead. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl, trying to make a move. That was a good defensive play by Savage. She almost squeezed between those two defenders, but
did.
Savage got a stick on it.
And then the trailer almost picked it up. That would have been pretty sweet.
Absolutely.
There we go.
As that's tipped back, Swanson trying to get it. Finley, top of the near circle, sends it down the near boards. Vanden Heuvel fires it deep as Katie German into the near corner trying to get it. Trying to make sure she gets away from Vanden Heuvel. Now Pirro pulls it right back behind the Michigan goal. Pirro at top of the far circle into the slot. That shot out in front, knocked down as that went off of Savage. There's going to be a cross check, I believe, or roughing on Michigan. That's going to be a roughing call at 4:20.
Kelsey's been getting run, so she's just frustrated. She knows better, but that was a lot. She's been hit a lot of times. All right.
Roughing the call. Roughing the call.
All right, we'll see how our PK is. We've been working on this with the power play a lot. So
already had one power play goal. That is fantastic. All the way back to the far point. Spence with it for the Dearborn squad. They're trying to cut the lead to 1 as it's back behind. Underneath with it is Schroeder. Schroeder, top of the near circle. Schroeder comes high slot. Schroeder.
Way.
Over to Sinsoli, back to Spence at the far point. Now Zapham has it, top of the near circle, and they score.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was the plan. I mean, we were really packed in there. I don't think Sandy had much of a chance on that one, and we're not aggressive at all on the PK.
Zafman able to fire at top of the near circle. I'm not sure if that got deflected out in front.
Yeah, I think it was tipped. I'm not positive. It's pretty crowded back there.
Absolutely. That was at 3:52, so that a power play goal as well.
All right, got to get them while they're happy.
As it's back to a 1-goal game, 2-1. Ann Arbor leads Dearborn. But Dearborn with the momentum. Zafman brings it ahead. Zafman down the far boards. Over to Evers. Evers dumps it deep into the Ann Arbor zone. Izzy German into the far corner trying to get it. Sinsoli off the side of the net, and Conniff covers it up. That was a laser beam, wide angle shot, hit the post.
And between her skate and the post. If she hadn't been tight on that post, that would have slipped in from no angle at all.
Absolutely. Scary shot there.
Good for Sandy. That's a good save. That's not a save that every goalie would make. You've got to be pretty conscientious to have that foot against the post.
3:30 left to go here in the second. 2-1. Michigan-Dearborn with it on the far side of the net. Vanden Heuvel coming over to the near side. Good job to knock that away by Matthews.
Well, they're not too happy. They're really on it now. They're feeling it.
Matthews fires it right back behind Bucksbaum, trying to get to it. Bucksbaum trying to get it away from Vanden Heuvel. Now Pirro coming in to try and dig that out. Matthews coming in, trying to lever it out of there as they continue to battle and dig. Comes to the far side. Kolwich pulls it away. Kolwich down the far boards. Kolwich backhands it. That at the far point. Warm had it. Now here comes Ann Arbor out into the neutral zone. Poked right back, but Simmer fires it off the far boards. Savage has it there. Puts it right back in, but Bucksbaum sends it down the near boards. Warm intercepts down. Warm gets it into the Ann Arbor zone. And pulled by Kolwich. Kolwich fires it ahead. That tip by Matthews over to Lindahl. Lindahl on the near circle. Lindahl trying to backhand it out in front. That puck right back behind. Now Carr has it. Carr outside the far circle. Carr. And she's run against the boards, racing down the other direction. Here comes Spence. Spence, top of the far circle. Spence moves it into the slot. That missed the trailer. In along the near boards, fired right back out as Sinsoli couldn't quite get to it. Spence into the slot, over to Evers. Evers got that blocked. Good job to get in the way. But Ceballos, and it goes in. Oh, boy, they tied it off of a weird goal from behind the net.
That's why you put everything on the net. I mean, Sandy doesn't give those up. We have to say to ourselves, look, we depend on her so much. It's time for us to respond. That was just a smart play. Just put it on the net from behind and hit her skate and went in. And now she's going to be into this game. Let me tell you.
2:08. I believe that was Spence who fired it from behind. That went off the back of the
goalie skate.
Back of the goalie skates. Michigan had one of those in Penn State where they were able to fire it in, but this
Last
tie
2
game
minutes, too.
2-2 as you don't want to give up those goals. Last 2 minutes of play as Vanden Heuvel has it. Vanden Heuvel fires it high slot. Here comes Michigan as the Ann Arbor squad trying to get it over to Hansen. That pull back, Vanden Heuvel down the near boards. It's a new game. Vanden Heuvel brings it in, top of the near circle. That fired, covered up by Poneth. It's a new game, and let's be honest, the University of Michigan-Dearborn has the momentum at this point.
We have 3 shots. They have 10.
That is a huge second period by this Michigan-Dearborn team.
Yep.
And the Ann Arbor squad has to get things figured out. They have to hold on this last minute, 45 seconds, and really have a gut check. Zapham with a shot. That went through a lot of traffic and along the near boards. Hansen has it now. Hansen feeds it ahead. That goes out. Here comes Gordon down the far boards. Gordon fires it back deep as that goes all the way back into the near corner. Trying to pull it away outside the near circle. Gordon trying to get to it. Trying to dig it. Is that loose? Coming in. Hansen. Oh, that just threw the crease.
Trying to live it out there for Alley.
Lazar into the far corner. Sends it right back behind. 1 minute, 14 seconds left to go. The puck outside the near circle. Vanden Heuvel into the near corner. Now coming back behind. Zafman, who had one of the goals, feeds it ahead. Here comes Vanden Heuvel. Vanden Heuvel fires it back deep. That takes a weird bounce. Picked up by Katie German down the far boards. Less than a minute left to go here in the second. As
almost through an open door again.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hit a player. Wow. They're getting cocky enough where they're trying to move it around in their own zone to make the perfect breakout. Our forecheck has got to start shutting that down.
Schroeder in to take the face-off versus Malashevsky. Top of the far circle. Sinsoli with the shot. That comes outside the near circle. Here comes Swanson. Swanson trying to move it ahead. And picked up by Nicole Hung. Nicole Hung into the far corner. Nicole Hahn sends it around outside the near circle. Vab trying to pull it back, loose. Swanson trying to get to it. Sinsoli pulls it back behind her own goal. Sinsoli sends it along the far boards. Picked up there by Evers. Evers gets it back into the neutral zone. Guffs this in, backhands it. That knockdown out in front. Malashevsky banks it off the near boards. Picking it up ahead is Warm. And knocked down by Lindahl. 15 seconds left to go. Malashevsky would love to get his shot here. Yeah. That knocked away. Warm with good defense.
A lot of stick work.
Warm into the far corner. 7 seconds left to go. 5 seconds left to go as that's brought ahead as Sinsoli sends it across over to Schroeder, and that will do it for the second.
Wow.
What were the final shots on goal in that second period?
12 for them and 3 for us. So I'm going to inspire our coaching staff with that stat.
As Michigan-Dearborn really obviously was not going to be, they're not going to be swept out of the building a second night in a row, as they have come back and tied it 2-2. We will. What does Michigan have to do in the third period to come off of that period and really get this lead back and win this game?
They got to wake up. I mean, you're up 2-0, and you're a defensive-based team with one of the best goalies in the nation. You're gonna have to wake up. You're gonna have to some energy. You're gonna have to get a lot more shots than 3.
Yeah.
You got to take care of the puck at your end. And you're playing for the player next to you. You're playing for the seniors. You're playing because it's do or die for nationals and the league. So I mean, if you can't be inspired by that, then God help you. I mean,
indeed. Well, we'll play. Speaking of being inspired, let's play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band. Get you inspired with a little I Can't Turn You Loose. And we'll be right back with our Michigan scoreboard report. You're watching Michigan Women's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting, 2-2 at the end of 2.
Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to the Michigan Amphitheater. So much of the music we hear today is this pre-programmed electronic disco. You never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft. By the year 2006, the music now known as the blues will exist only in the classical record department of your local public library. And so, this afternoon, while we still can, let us welcome from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Gary Lewis and his Blues Band. Gary Lewis and his Blues Band.
And now it's time for our Michigan scoreboard report. Looking back at Sunday, it was men's golf at the Palms de Mar Collegiate, and they were tied for third after day one. For softball, it was Michigan beating Oregon State 2-1 in tennis, women's tennis. Michigan beat NC State 4-1. Back on Monday in women's golf, they were ninth after day one of the Nexus Bahamas Invitational. For men's golf, they were fourth after day two at the Palmas de Mar Collegiate. And in women's tennis, Michigan lost to number 3 Oklahoma State 4-3. On Tuesday, it was women's golf ninth after day two of the Nexus Bahamas Invitational. For men's golf, they were fourth out of 16th in the Palmas de Mar Collegiate. In men's lacrosse, they played versus Canisius and won that one 21-5. In men's tennis, they lost to TCU 4-0. Number 2 TCU. In men's basketball, it was number 14 Illinois beating Michigan 97-68. It made all my wife's family in the Champaign area happy. In women's golf at the Nexus Bahamas Invitational on Wednesday, Michigan was 10th out of 11. In women's lacrosse versus Cincinnati, Michigan won that one 14-4. On Thursday versus number 4 Iowa, not only did Caitlin Clark get the record, but they beat the Michigan women's team 106-89. Today, action in softball. Women's beat Seton Hall 3-0. I always have a soft spot for Michigan being Seton Hall after that basketball game back in my youth. Then for softball versus Maine, the women won 11-0 in 5 innings. In baseball versus Western Michigan, Michigan lost in 11 innings, 14-13. Men's tennis, no score reported for the Silverton Invitational for the men's or women's. In men's tennis, no score reported versus number 9 Wake Forest. Men's wrestling, no score reported. Women's gymnastics, no score reported. Intramural hockey, they are playing at Penn State, and I could probably try and figure out that score for you momentarily, as looking at a little NCAA men's hockey scores as Michigan, the Ann Arbor squad, heads out onto the ice, as that would be Big Ten at the end of 2. It's the men's NCAA team, Michigan, up 4-1 on Penn State. Taking a look at a little Division I women's hockey action in the NCAA. Mercyhurst beat Syracuse by a score of 3-2. It was Penn State over RIT 5-3. Robert Morris beat Lindenwood 7-5. It was Yale topping Colgate 3-1. Cornell beat Brown 2-1. It was Quinnipiac on topping Rensselaer Polytechnic 4-2. St. Louis beat Harvard 4-2. It was Princeton topping Union 5-1. Clarkston shut out Dartmouth 9-0. It was Connecticut beating Merrimack 5-1. Maine beat Providence 2-1. Boston University beat Vermont 4-1. And it was Northeastern edging out Boston College 3-2. Now back here, it's 2-2 at the end of 2, heading into the third. And the Ann Arbor squad needs a huge period here to try and make sure that they keep up in the ACHA standings and make sure that they can make nationals without having to pull any great heroics back at the CCWHA championships, which start on Friday. Again, with the win here, Dearborn can secure the top spot. And, let me make sure the Coach Ned's actually up.
I hadn't paid my hadn't anteed up, and I didn't get my mic turned up. Shout out to some more of our players. I just saw Myra and Jamie and Jordan through my, what was that magic looking glass that one of the guys in the kids thing used to magic mirror a million years ago? Yeah, I just saw.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. Great to see them all here. It's fantastic to see squads coming back. That off this side of that. Here comes Lindahl trying to get to it. Lindahl moving ahead. Lindahl banks it off the far boards, trying to get around Zafman. Lindahl in on the far circle. Lindahl moves it over to KD German, top of the near circle. KD German fires it out in front, right through the slot. That got caught off of the Denzer skates. Holding in Katie German at the near point. Now outside the near circle. Swanson puts it into the near corner. Zafman trying to pull it away as it goes into the far corner. Malashevsky there trying to dig it out. As now Swanson trying to maneuver into the far corner. Swanson ends up into the boards. Now coming back at the near point. Here comes Katie German.
That went off.
Yeah. Michigan will touch up. That's fired down the far board. Zafman has it. Zafman ahead for the Dearborn squad. That tipped Evers. Trying to get it back deep. Pulled away by Katie German down the near boards. And all the way back. Pierce has it at the blue line. Now ricocheted off the far boards. Coming ahead with it, Nicole Hahn. Tipped right in front of the door. Nicole Hahn moves it back.
Being too nice. Too nice.
Over to Pirro. That fired down and right up into the Dearborn bench.
Almost got the head coach there.
18:42 left to go here in the third. 2-2 as if Coach Ned here and I needed more gray hair.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I can feel them popping out of my head.
In along the near boards, Spence fires it ahead. Coming down, Vanden Heuvel gains the zone outside the near circle. Vanden Heuvel at right to the goal, covered up and racing in. Pirro kind of ending up well after the whistle into the crease.
They have a history of running our goalie.
18:32 left to go here in the third. I believe 2 years ago, Sandy ended up with a concussion after a game at Dearborn.
That is correct.
That puck
we haven't forgotten.
outside the near circle. Vanden Heuvel, there's a shot. Good save by Ponnet again in along the near boards.
Person out in front, wide open too.
Fired ahead. Now
Here
racing.
go.
Here comes
Lucy.
Hansen. Hansen breaking through. Hansen with the shot and a score! Hansen
she's
puts
money.
it in.
Oh,
Top left
man.
hand corner blocker side high. And Hansen.
Right above the pad.
Oh, she needs a superhero cape for that one. That was huge.
I thought she was going to draw the penalty, and instead that made it hard for the goalie to know how and when it was going to come because she had that defenseman draped all over. That was a studly shot.
Absolutely. Looked like maybe it had been a little hook from behind, but didn't matter. Hansen able to put it in. That's her second goal of the game as we have
huge. Do not get happy.
Carr with a goal and Hansen with a goal.
Build on it.
And we just need Lindahl with a goal to have the scoring.
The trifecta.
Trifecta, absolutely.
I don't know what it is about the benches tonight, but that's the umpteenth puck into the bench tonight.
You got to be wearing full pads on the benches tonight.
That's why they make the goalies wear them when they're sitting there.
Absolutely. Coming around. Zafman has it down the near board. Zafman puts it at. Michigan has the 3-2 lead over Dearborn, but Dearborn able to come back from a 2-0 deficit in the second, so they are going to continue to play hard. They're not the seventh team in the nation for nothing. And that was a whistle outside of the near circle in
going
Michigan.
To the box to feel shame.
The Ann Arbor squad's going to have a power play.
Oh, this would be a
as
great time.
O'Neill Damasio goes into the box, which means I can't murder her name where she's in the box. Again, that looks like a roughing call.
Our camera woman's going to throw her arm out, signaling on her nose for us.
Well, if I figure it out quicker, she'd be better, but that's okay. So another roughing call, and that at 17:45 is the puck into the near corner, swung around into the far corner. Lindahl has it there. Lindahl, the Bucksbaum, high slot. Bucksbaum, good job to hold it in.
Yeah.
Bucksbaum moves it top of the far circle, back to
guys,
Lindahl.
Look at the net. Got to go to the net.
Now Bucksbaum back over to Lindahl. Lindahl, top of the far circle, back to Bucksbaum, trying to get someone out of place. They move it on to the near circle. There's a shot by Swanson, goes right back behind. Lindahl has it underneath the far circle. Lindahl now feeds it over top of the near circle for Swanson. Swanson fires it into the slot. Oh, Cummings trying to let it go.
Walk in and
moved over.
That.
There's a shot.
There.
And another shot by Swanson trying to put it in. And
whistle. Did you hear a whistle?
Yeah, it was a whistle.
Okay.
But Borso with a heck of a save, as that was an excellent opportunity for the Ann Arbor squad, as Lindahl had a shot at it from the far side, Swanson from the near side. Borso somehow kept it out of the goal. That was a fantastic.
Yeah, that's a nice play. Coming in from the back door, moving it in, putting it in where there's a melee. That's good.
1:16 left to go in the power play. 17 minutes left to go here in the third. 3-2. Ann Arbor squad with the lead. Coming down the far boards. And sent all the way back down. Katie German goes back behind Pontiff to get it. Pressure coming from Vanden Heuvel. Katie German Now banks it off the near boards,
That's
trying to
a
get
check.
around Vanden Heuvel as they ended up tied up together. Pirro has it in the slot. Shot just misses.
That was a rocket.
Pirro outside the near circle. That was well placed,
They're
too. Vanden Heuvel trying to get a shot. Good job by Carr to get a stick in the way. And saved an excellent opportunity as that skipped right over Gordon's stick. She gets it in deep for Flazar. Flazar in the near circle. Flazar back behind the goal. She's knocked off of the puck. Vanden Heuvel has it ahead, and that'll be cleared all the way down. 30 seconds left in the power play to the Ann Arbor squad. Here comes Katie German down the near board. She gains the zone. 16-13 left to go here in the third. Katie German, that tipped right back, racing back. Carr back to get to it. Sensoli right back behind her. Carr trying to get it around. Hansen.
Nice play.
Hansen on the near boards. Hansen. Sensoli again trying to make it difficult for him. Quickly trying to get it to Gordon, and that just missed. That'll be icing and head back with 2 seconds left to go in the power play. 15:51 left to go here in the third. We'd really, really love another goal by the Ann Arbor squad here.
I'd like to see that defense when that puck sneaks out from a blocked shot on the power play. Instead of moving it wide, just walk in and crank it because everybody's backed in.
Sure. Makes sense. Out in front, Sensoli with the shot. Saved by Bonnet. Boy, speaking of walking in, Sensoli grabbed it right off of the face-off and was right point blank there.
She's one of their leading scorers, right?
She is, I believe, the leading scorer for the team.
Yeah.
She has 48 points on 18 goals and 13 assists.
Yeah.
So she is no slouch.
That's where you thank Sandy for that one.
Absolutely. Otherwise, it'd be a tie game.
We got to box out on those draws.
As Kolwich ends up right into
referee.
The referee pays the price for not getting paid much for the game. Into the near corner, Bucksbaum trying to pull it. That back to Nicole Hahn. Nicole Hahn fires down front. That tipped into the far corner. Now Ferris gets it in along the far boards. Ferris feeds it all the way down.
That's not going to be icing.
Icing waved off. Nicole Hahn into the near corner. She feeds it around. That to Warham in the far corner. Warham ahead, held in by Kolwich at the far point. She fires it again off the official. They're taking abuses. Again off of the official into the far corner.
Killed. I don't know if that means he's in the wrong spot or what.
As that comes right back behind Borso into the near corner, pulled up by Nicole Hahn, putting it into the far corner for Warham. Warham picks it up there, under 15 minutes left to go. The Ann Arbor squad up by 1. That pulled on the far circle, shot there. Good save by Borso as Swanson took a good shot. And there's a whistle. He looks like he's saying a legal body check, but I didn't see
Nobody's
anything.
going to the box.
No, I don't know why the whistle happened.
I was looking down and marking my shots. I apologize, I don't have more eyes.
No, it's fair. It's fair.
Well, we've gotten a little spark because we're up to tying them in shots anyway.
Nice fake. Top of the far circle. Lindahl puts it in, and again, just getting a piece of the stick was Evers, making it difficult. Lindahl fires it out in front. That skips past.
There.
Swanson out in front, pulled away by Zafman. Zafman back behind, coming down the near board. Zafman, weaving through traffic. Coming ahead with it. Here comes Pirro. Pirro on the far circle. Izzy German firing her wide now. Good job by Lindahl to pull it out of harm's way outside of the near circle. Pirro puts it back in along the end boards, trying to get it over. Pirro underneath the far circle, trying to fire it out in front. Izzy German lost it in her skates, but good job to not keep it from going out in front. There's a shot. Good save. Coming onto the near circle, pulled around. Vanden Heuvel has it outside the near circle. Vanden Heuvel with the shot. That got blocked by Katie German. Katie German down the near boards, held in by Finley at the near point. Finley puts it back into the near corner. Katie German with it there. She'll ricochet it off the near boards. Now brought ahead. Finley able to hold it in. Lindahl and Finley battling. Still trying to dig it out there. Malashevsky now grabbing it. Now that fired ahead.
High off the glass.
Katie German.
Change.
Absolutely off the glass. Gets a new fresh set of legs coming in. Here comes Schroeder. Schroeder onto near circle. Schroeder shot and she scores.
Man!
That was really well placed. Top left-hand corner. That was
right over her shoulder. And, in warm-ups, they were practicing shooting off the top bar, and that was a top bar shot.
3-3 is our score.
They're just not going to go away.
Nope, that's your second leading score for that team.
We got to clear the zone.
As that was at 13 at 37. As brought around Fired now back into the Michigan zone. So Schroeder got that goal.
Oh.
Right out in front, that puck high. Flazar trying to move it over. Now Gordon trying to get to it. Gillen puts it into the far corner. Now trying to move it ahead is Gustafson pulled along. Schroeder puts it right back behind. And trying to grab that. Underneath the near circle, swept it along the near boards. Gordon trying to get it out of the zone. She sweeps it all the way back.
It's not going to be icing.
Racing back to get it is Nicole Hahn. She's into the far corner. Hansen back trying to provide pressure. Nicole Hahn back behind her own goal. She's underneath the far circle. Now through the slot, Nicole Hahn down the near boards. She fires a cross-ice pass over to Gillen. Gillen fires it deep into the Michigan zone. 3-3 is our score. 12:44 left to go. As it has been a back-and-forth game, the Ann Arbor squad has gotten the lead. They had a 2-0 lead. Dearborn came back to tie it with too late in the second, and then a heavy hit a little on the far boards. Michigan scored Ann Arbor early in the third, and it's all tied up with Schroeder with a goal. Bucksbaum in along the end boards, picked up by Hung. Hung feeds it ahead. Here comes Cummings. Cummings through center ice. Good, a nice move to avoid some pressure. That fired back off of the linesman this time.
Jesus, poor guys.
Yeah, indeed.
That hurts.
If you're in the bench, your linesman or an official, you're going to get a puck to you in this game. That comes back, grabbed by Izzy German. Izzy German, top of the near circle. Izzy German feeds it down the far boards, coming ahead with it. Simmer trying to get to it. Zafman has it, top of the far circle.
Oh.
Zafman
Make her pay.
puts it back behind into the far corner. Zafman fires it around for Sinsoli. Sinsoli ahead, held in by Carr. Carr trying to hold it. She's spun around by a pair of defenders. That picked up. Fire back to the blue line. Katie German has it ahead. Katie German poked away, racing ahead. Here comes Evers. Evers racing in. Shot, save. Coming in. Another shot, another save by Ponith. As she, speaking of superhero capes,
you know what she did there? She did not go down on that first shot because she knew they were trying to go upstairs on her. She went down slowly and got that high off her shoulder. Couldn't control the rebound and then was there for the second one. That was huge.
Absolutely. Dearborn was looking for their first lead of the game. Ponit denied them twice. But shots on goal now up on
8 for Dearborn, 4 for Michigan.
As the Ann Arbor squad has got to get more pressure on Borso if they want to get this lead back.
And they got to be smart. They can't be the last person there trying to carry it out. We got to use your teammates.
In along the far boards, that grab by Schroeder. Schroeder, who tied the game up over to Finley, top of the near circle, shot that off the side, covered up by Ponith.
God. Ay.
Oh, they're a good team. They're wide. They're top 10 in the nation.
Yeah.
They're not going to go away easy. They have a lot of. It's a huge rivalry. They don't want to lose to the Ann Arbor squad.
No.
And
they didn't think they weren't going to show up tonight. They were thinking in a different universe.
Absolutely. Picked up at the blue line, fired ahead by Finley now. Vanden Heuvel sends it down the far boards, bringing it in. Evers at the far point.
Step up.
On the far circle. Gustafson knocks it away. Here comes Michigan down the far boards, held in by Spence. Shot, trying to get it out in front. Vanden Heuvel was right in front of Ponith. That puck underneath, trying back behind, poked away from Gustafson. Now Malashevsky down the near boards, trying to get it out. Finley. And back out is Swanson, has it down the far boards. Poke checked away from her into the far corner, gathered up by Bucksbaum. 10 minutes, 33 seconds left to go. 3-3 is our score. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl gains his own. Lindahl with the shot. Oh, just missed to the far side. Hansen has it in the far corner into the far boards. Worm sends it around outside the near circle, gathered up there. Trying to fire it ahead is Nicole Hahn, held in by Gordon. Gordon sends it right back behind. Worm trying to get to it. Now Hansen trying to provide pressure. Gillum tries to get it out. Held in by Flazar. Flazar moving it over into the slot. Pulled away down the near boards. As that's O'Neill Damasio with it. Coming down the far boards. Here comes Worm. Worm.
Way to fill the center there, Lucy.
Fires it back deep as that comes outside the near circle. Picked up. As O'Neill Damasio puts it right back behind, gathered up there by Kolwich. Kolwich fires it. That to the far point. Worm shot from there. Deflects out in front. Flazar has it down the near boards. Flazar moves it ahead. Intercepted as Pirro has it poked away. Flazar battling. Flazar trying to get it out. And sent right back behind the Michigan goal. Gillum has it outside the far circle. Hansen with it there. That got caught in a pair of skates. Sent right back behind. Katie German trying to get to it. Now circling around. There's a shot out in front. Diving.
Oh, no. What a great save on that first one. She had no chance on the second one.
Ponnet diving makes the save, and it's now 4-1. Michigan-Dearborn with the lead.
4-3.
4-3, excuse me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pirro with the goal.
We had tired players out there. They were gassed. Oh, jeez. They just got to clear the zone, relieve the pressure. Now they've got the first time they've had the lead.
Yep, Dearborn has the lead 4-3 here, and covered up by Borso. She doesn't want to leave this, and this is huge.
You know, I thought your comment, Mark, about how they come in here with a bad taste in their mouth and want to get that out was very well put, and I think you've nailed it there. They just want to move on from that game, and they're doing it by beating us.
And having a big chip in their shoulder this weekend, and they're playing tough. Bucksbaum trying to get it. That moved ahead. Here comes Savage. Savage on breakaway. Savage fires it. Good job staying in front by Izzy German. Puck into the near corner as the Ann Arbor squad needs a hero. Fired up. High slot shot there by Zafman. And oh my! That still loose and now covered up as that went right off as Cummings was trying to pull it away, and it just took a bad hop off of her stick right to Ponnet. Yeah,
that's a nightmare.
The last thing you want is to have that happen is you're trying to get it out of the way. And we need energy, but we need not to tighten up and not to get too so play hard. That block, good job by Carr. Carr coming down the far boards. Zafman gets it over to Finley. Finley down the near boards. That's sent right back into the Ann Arbor zone. Katie German has it back behind it along the end boards. Katie German feeds it down the far boards. That's tipped. Schroeder has it. There's a shot pulled back behind by Gustafson. Gustafson trying to get it ahead down. Gustafson moves it, trying to get it to Simmer. That knocked down by Finley right in front of the penalty box. And pulled ahead. Here comes Michigan. Katie German banks it off the far boards. Carr trying to get to it. That fired back in by Sensoli. As that'll be stopped. 8:13 left to go. Dearborn with the 1-goal lead, 4-3. Bringing it ahead. Carr trying to fire a long cross ice pass. Spence has it. Now Simmer tips it back into the Dearborn zone. Dearborn moving with great speed and confidence. That tipped away. Pulled down along the near boards. Here comes Spence. Spence gains his own. Spence trying to weave through traffic. Spence backhanded shot. That goes outside the far circle. Picked up by Matthews there. Matthews feeds it ahead. That goes all the way down the ice. And that is going to be icing. Head right back into the Michigan zone. Michigan unable to get a line change on that. 7:42 left to go here in the third.
Yeah. Wow. Good game. I mean, this is what you pay the big bucks to sit here and watch.
Big game. Ann Arbor squad down by 1. 7:42. Lots of time left, but they definitely need to put some pressure on. Pulled away. Here comes Ann Arbor. Through center ice. Swanson has it. Swanson gains the zone. Swanson fires it back deep. And right back behind the goal into the near corner. Spence with it there. Lindahl tried to dig it out of the corner. Lindahl and Swanson trying to get it out of there.
We're losing. We got to get that puck out of there.
Still trying to lever it. Still trying to dig it. Still trying to battle. Spence holding it in. They're trying to crowbar and try and dig. And finally they blow the whistle.
You know, Kelsey got railed on that play across the neutral zone. I'm sure that shoulder's bothering her, but she's too tough to come out of there. It probably didn't help with digging it out. Just at this point, I'm guessing the defense is going to get a bit of a green light to try to carry it in and set something up.
And Swanson outside the far circle, right through. Oh, couldn't get to Lindahl's stick as it was just out of her reach. Otherwise, boy, that would have been beautiful.
She shoots with the wrong hand.
Lindahl on the far circle shot. That got deflected out in front. Into the near corner, Bucksbaum with it. Bucksbaum fires it out in front. That intercepted by Warm. Warm feeds it ahead.
Kelsey got knocked down.
Here comes Schroeder. Schroeder, top of the near circle. Good defensive play by Kolwich. Right out in front, racing in.
Nice
as that
play.
tipped away by Swanson. Savage fires it right back deep into the far corner. Gillen with it there. Gillen tipped away by Swanson. Swanson brings it ahead. And right down the near boards, Warm has it. Warm back to her own blue line. Warm Turns on it, center ice. Warm coming down the far boards. Now moves it back. Coming ahead, Soli trying to fire it over to Savage. That'll be icing and head back into the Dearborn zone. They're trying to get a line change. Savage came off, and now they're trying to tell her she has to come back.
That was a Savage play. Sneaking on like that.
She did a very good job of playing innocent there.
Great hockey game. Who, me? Watched too many pro games.
6:21 left to go. If you can get the change in anyway, you try and do it.
Yeah.
4-1, Dearborn with the lead back behind Flazar trying to pull it away. And picked up on the near circle. Then sent Katie German high slot. That got deflected out in front. They have had a lot of block shots.
Yes, they
have.
Not
much has gotten back to Borso. Is that outside the near circle trying to pull it away. Hansen now chasing it. That rimmed all the way around the boards. Izzy German holds it in, fires it out in front. Flazar trying to get to it, and it's whistled down. Borso with it. Boy, Flazar trying to get that stick in there and find a way to poke it in, but Borso very solid there. She's rebounded nicely from yesterday.
I would love to do a first puck goal for Izzy. This would be a big time to do it, Iz.
Definitely need one of the Ann Arbor squads to get this game tied up. 5:56 left to go here in the third. 4-3. Dearborn with the lead, and they have the puck down as Vanden Heuvel has it. That fire back to Ferris. Ferris trying to get it deep. Spence on the far circle. Spence moves it down the near boards. Here comes Evers. Evers trying to fire it ahead. That tipped as that will go all the way back. Picked up by Izzy German back behind her own goal. Izzy German moves it back behind. Now,
we don't have a wing there now.
Hahn has it in along the near boards. Hung trying to get it out. Here comes Katie German. Katie German skating ahead. Katie German on the far circle moves it into the slot. There's Hung with a shot. Just goes wide as Cummings had a shot, and her stick got caught on a defender, but Hung, really good opportunity. Yep. Hung brings it in. That got caught in Finley's skates. Now Finley heading the other direction. Finley sets it up. Coming down. Here comes Pirro. Pirro with a blast. That went off of Katie German in along the far boards. Matthews trying to put it back deep. Now racing over Evers right back behind the goal. Picked up coming down the near boards. That held in at the near point by Finley. Finley trying to fire it out in front. There's grab. Good block. That was a great block by Izzy German. Izzy German has it top of the far circle. That sent right back. Bucksbaum underneath the near circle. Bucksbaum has it poked away by Gillen. Now Matthews fires it along the far boards. Ferris trying to get to it and sent outside the far circle.
Walk out.
And fired ahead. Hung trying to get to it. Deflects back. Warm trying to pick it up. Icing waved off. Warm back behind her own goal. Matthews trying to get to it back there. Warm goes from the far side to the near side. Warm ahead and over, trying to get it over to O'Neill Damasio. And off the side of the net and held on by Borso.
Well, we've come closer on shots. We got a little urgency. It's their 10 to our 8, but I don't know. We used to have some plays up our sleeve for down by one like this. We'll see if we can pull something out. We've got to watch on Sandy whether they'll pull her here.
4:16 left to go, and pulling the goalie has happened earlier and earlier in hockey nowadays.
Yeah.
Katie German at the near point trying to move it back. That loose coming down the near boards. Michigan, the Ann Arbor squad really would love to get this game, but they're down by 1, 4-3 as Dearborn controls. Zafman has it, sends it right back behind to Finley. Finley along the near boards, gets it over to Savage. That tipped.
Here we
loose
go.
In the slot, grabbing it. Carr trying to turn on it, but getting a good, getting some stick on it, making it move away was Dearborn. Down the near boards. Ann Arbor was hoping it was an icing. And fired all the way back. Zafman has it outside the near circle. Picked up. Here comes Carr. Carr makes a good move. Wouldn't stay on her stick. Matthews into near corner battling Finlay with 3:32 left to go. Okay. Zafman has it down the far board. Zafman comes ahead with it. Zafman that knocked away by Carr.
Good job.
And
Carr.
Picked up. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl, we could use it. Superstar
Lindahl.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Offsides. Had me right out of my seat. New hip, new knee, and all. Oh my gosh! I thought we were going to have a breakaway from inside the blue line. Wow!
I didn't see whether it was. They have the better view.
They have the better view, is what I've been told. God dang it! I know there were a lot of clapping going on in the Dearborn bench.
Yeah, coming down the far boards.
If there's anybody you wanted to have that puck on.
No, Lindahl, right there, absolutely. Puck into the far corner, pulled away by Nicole Hahn. Nicole Hahn ricochets it off the far boards. Lindahl trying to get to it, stuck in her skates. That fired all the way back. I believe right now is a great time for a Tums commercial. Pull back behind. Izzy German has it. Izzy German pulling it down the far boards. Izzy German.
Somebody go.
Trying to move it back into the neutral zone. Intercepted Nicole Hung. That went off of Lindahl back in, grabbing a Pirro. Pirro on the far circle. 2:45 left to go. 4-3.
Head her off.
Dearborn has the lead, trying to hold it in as Bucksbaum, as that slips back. Here it comes.
Numbers.
Vanden Heuvel has it. Vanden Heuvel with the shot. That blocked. Izzy German takes it back behind her own goal. 2:30 left to go. Coming ahead with it. They're trying to get it to, and icing waved off.
Good
as coming down
Julia.
the far boards. Empty. Nope, not empty.
She wants to do it by herself. Oh.
Down the near boards. That fired back by Savage. Right back behind. Katie German trying to get to it. Outside the far circle. Schroeder, that's a big collision. Back in front. Tipped away. Loose in the slot. Trying to pull it back. That slips back into the neutral zone. Nicole Hahn trying to get to it. Malashevsky goes and good job to avoid too many players on the ice. Katie German trying to skate in with it. That pulled down. Under 2 minutes left to go. 1:50. Dearborn with the lead. Back. There's a broken stick back into the Michigan zone. As Gustafson fires it down the far boards. Hansen trying to avoid pressure. Now Gordon trying to get it out of the zone. That lifted back to center. Warren brings it in. 1 minute 34 seconds. Warren with a shot. That got blocked. Katie German blocked it, but put back by Evers. Now Gordon back behind
Fly
the
zone. Fly the zone.
1 minute 25 seconds left. Coming down the near boards. That tipped away. Coming in. Ooh, good job to poke it away by Gustafson. Loose. Now here comes Simmer. Simmer banks it against the near boards. Trying to get ahead. Warm has it. 1 minute 11 seconds left to go. Zafman back in her own zone. Zafman sets it up down the near boards for Evers. Evers brings it ahead. Now trying to pull it away is Carr. That tipped ahead. Loose right at the blue line. Under a minute left to go. Michigan needs to get this game tied. As coming ahead. Dearborn has it. Tipped onto the far circle. Zafman with it coming back.
Don't let her breathe.
48 seconds left to go. And tipped right back to the near point. Bucksbaum has it. Bucksbaum skating
Walk in, shoot.
Bucksbaum fires it. That tipped out in front of the glove. Save.
Okay.
39.2 seconds left to go.
They got Sandy on the bench. So we're going to have 6-on-5. I'm guessing they may call a timeout here.
This would be a good time to call a timeout, talk it over, and there it is.
Get their best players rested, get a little blow, and be ready to go.
39.2 seconds left to go. 4-3. Dearborn with 2 goals here in the third. As it was tied up going into the third, Michigan scored as Hansen scored at 18:44. But then 2 Dearborn goals, one at 13:37 and one at 9:20, has given them the lead.
Shots are 10 them, 9 us. Not that this is a bipartisan or broadcast or anything. I got to review my contract. I thought there was a deal where they couldn't all be close games when I did the color on these things.
Were I to have that sort of power, sir. Oh, are you kidding me? No, it's
again, we had the lead, tie the lead, and then they get the lead here at the end.
As they have continued to battle, we have not been able to kind of knock this Dearborn team down. They're
gutsy, they're gritty, they're bringing it to us. I got to respect that. Okay, so you got a pretty good lineup out there.
Dearborn trying to get the season split. Michigan beat them in Dearborn. They're trying to beat the Ann Arbor squad here. Malashevsky in to take the faceoff versus Pirro.
We got 5
battle for it as
forwards
that's
out
poked
there.
All the way down.
5 forwards.
As that will go down, that will be icing.
Oh, that's huge. We got to win this draw.
Yeah. I didn't hear the whistle, but it is icing.
It's icing.
28.9 seconds left to go.
That's why they go to Dearborn.
This is the few shots left for Michigan. The opportunity for the Ann Arbor squad.
Sam needs to just rip it here. Don't try to make a move. Just rip it. Somebody just ripped it right
Olszewski
there.
trying to win it.
Yeah,
That
they're
loose
smart.
and along
They
the
just
near
tied
boards.
it up.
Finley has it. That tipped. Trying to hold it in is Katie German. Now
no.
racing ahead. Here comes Savage.
is for
Savage has it.
rankings.
Savage puts it in, and there is the goal.
I think they have a pretty good crowd here from the sounds of the cheers, unless there's people who are confused.
No, they have a good crowd. That is not fun at all.
Nope.
I'm sure all you Dearborn folks are quite happy out there and forgive our morose reaction, but
I'm a homer. I can admit that. That's why I'm here. Oh, man.
3 straight goals by Dearborn. They have the 5-3 lead. Savage.
That's right. It's 3 in a row. Well, open net, but
Yeah.
still, that's not good for rankings even.
As that in along the near boards, and that'll be brought back. Poneth back there, 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7 seconds, 5 seconds, 4. And along the far boards, and Dearborn forces the split. Michigan beat them 3-1 at Dearborn, and now Dearborn beats the Ann Arbor squad 5-3, empty net goal to cap it off. And
So let's see. On your standings,
Dearborn's now the number 1 seed. No one can catch
they'll
them.
get it. So we're hoping that they get rusty with that bye.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. They have the number 1 seed. No one can catch them now. It's Michigan, Ann Arbor, and Adrian trying to get the 3rd spot. And, of course, the Spartans could knock Adrian out if they sweep them, which is probably not likely, but it is there. So nothing against Michigan State, but Adrian's a tough team to play and try and beat
number
twice.
3 in the nation.
They are number 3 in the nation.
Yeah.
Number 7 beats number 6 here as they split the season series, and Michigan has a list of teams they'd like to beat in the CCWHAs and in nationals now.
And the list gets longer.
Yeah, absolutely. It does. Any final thoughts on that game? And what does Michigan need to do to get the win tomorrow? Senior nights, we'll have some seniors playing who might not have seen as much time throughout the season. Now those games versus Lake Superior State become just that much more important for standings.
Yeah, they're going to have to shake it off. They're going to have to realize, hey, we're doing this for the seniors. That's a big deal. You're going to be there soon, sooner than they imagine.
Yep.
It happens so quickly. So the people that are out there, the seniors are going to have to play like it's their last game ever, play as well as they can. People stand up and help each other, support, and frankly, they got to get some energy and the momentum and the contagious support that carry them through a game. When they get a lead, they keep a lead. And they got to forget about this. I hope they're as inspired as Dearborn was.
Yes.
To get the taste out of their mouth and get the taste of this game out of their mouth.
Indeed.
And Lake Superior State is not taking that long bus ride down here to just back off and let them win.
No, we swept them twice at their place. They would love to return the favor here.
And
they want to ruin senior night. And
anytime you get senior night, you're inspired because you never try to put it against the best team in the world. You want the seniors to win. And frankly, beating them a 3rd and 4th time in a season because we're a little confident that we can beat them is never easy.
No, beating a team 4 times is
Yeah.
near impossible. Well, final here, 5-3. Dearborn gets the win over your Ann Arbor squad. 7:30 tomorrow is senior night. Please, we'd love to see a huge crowd down here for that. We're going to keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully, Coach Ned can be with us. And then 4 o'clock on Sunday.
Yep.
And worst case, you're stuck with me the whole game.
Go blue.
So, thank you very much. And for my camera person, Christina Wiseman, Coach Ned with us, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of the evening. We'll be back 7:30 tomorrow.